Good evening, everyone. I'm Tassenix, and welcome to another chill stream. It's TB and chill time. I've got a whole bunch of battles to do. It's Phase 5, bunch of planets, lots of work. It's been a great Friday evening with the family. Wife and kid are already in bed. I've had a fantastic evening. Most of the way through a delicious bottle of wine. Still got about a glass and a half to go. And yeah, figured, let's hang out, take some questions, and knock out these fights. Music rolling. Boom. All right, we should be good. Gavon Stump Double. Good day, Tass. Early question for you. Where will you use the Adrad Cron? I did build that one up. I am thinking to try it a few different ways, to be honest. Radis, of course. Using it with Leia is an interesting thought because Radis is often there. I don't think the 9 is what I care about most. The 15, let me see. If he's in the leader slot, so it wouldn't matter, yeah, with Leia, but this stuff would be useful to me. It makes you wonder how good Radis Cron is on Radis itself. Probably not as a defense team, though. I don't think this is good enough. Like, why wouldn't Malgus, or something of the like, still destroy it? Use it with Saw, says Gavons. Yeah, I mean, you could. Pretty good. It's not a bad idea. The health is great with Saw. Crit damage, solid choice. Potency isn't wasted. Tenacity isn't wasted. Pretty flexible. It's one of the winners from the set. I mean, it seems like the two most powerful are probably going to be Radis and Trench. I like the Jawacron, and I don't know, I'm kind of lazily pursuing this Eidencron. Still trying to pick up a Special Forces before the start of Week 1, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with the Datacron inventory as it is. Darth Saleya, good evening, Tass. Good evening, good to have you. Always a pleasure and a privilege having the patrons in the chat. All right, Ren. Hello there, Tass. Another chill stream. Awesome. Yes, we are here for your questions. Some alcohol and a lot of TV fights. Speaking of which, shall we? They want me to do Inquisitorius. I do like doing Balin as his own team, so fine. Rusty Garden Chair. Hey, Otas, how we doing? What do you reckon will be the go-to level 6 Datacron for Slacker? I think the answer is different depending on the level 9 you go with. Probably, here, we'll talk about it after get this done. But like the double damage level 6 is really good, I think, with the Slacker level 9. And then Special Forces, there's probably a couple of options. That's really an interesting question for this season is, how will you be using your Slacker? With First Order Special Forces, which means, are you using Dre there as well? Or are you thinking about maybe parting, if you're using it on offense, maybe you're just running it as a 2-man. And then are you using Dre for something else interesting elsewhere? That's something I'm looking forward to. K2SO and Jin are fighters. Ad Radness is out. Yeah, I agree with that. Dojo Moto 843. Happy Friday, Tess. Good to see you. Welcome. A real pleasure to have everybody. There it is. Let's see. Yeah. Probably the damage immunity level 6 is really nice for the special forces, but there's maybe a couple other intelligent choices. I know I told you guys I was going to get you the my Datacron guide for this set within this week, and I'm kind of stretching it as we are on Friday. But technically, I have not yet made a liar of myself, which means maybe I'm doing this tomorrow. I've kind of thought before about recording videos for YouTube live, but I don't know. Think about that. Lady Geek, happy Friday, folks. Good to have you here. Welcome. Yeah, let's have all them questions. Happy Saturday lunch, says Aussie Mike. Yes, what is it like over there in Tomorrowland? I think we can put this on auto there. I might be mistaken about that. Let's make sure that 7 does the right thing. Sunny-ish, mid-20s, lovely so far. Nice, nice. How does the future look, says Lady Geek to Aussie Mike. That's right. Tell us our destinies. Do you have the lottery numbers for our area? The winning lottery numbers? You had some fish and chips from the takeaway shop. Yes, that is some Aussie-sounding language. Yes. Michael Bond, sup? Any secret Datacron combos discovered for the new set? I mean, I haven't heard a lot that I would consider secret. I will say that when we go to record the preview episode for this next, 3vs3 season, when we go for the next plotting and scheming, we will talk about our ideas. Within reason, all of us, we have an agreement between us, we try and share what we can, but we reserve the right to keep a little bit of the sauce secret for what it is we're trying to do, who it is we're trying to beat. So, especially on the occasions where Sasha and I are in the same bracket, can't give everything away all the time. But I will say, Dagger had an interesting take on the significance of the Ray level 9 in 3vs3 versus the Ben solo. So I'm not sold on it yet. Whenever Ben solo deals damage to an enemy, remove 25% turn meter from that enemy. So his AoE is potentially really good value. Yeah. It's okay. I don't know. I think the Ray one is probably generally better, and outside of 3vs3, I think absolutely I would prefer the Ray level 9. Secret combos. No. This what I like about this, and we've had this available before, when we've had Dark Side buffs level 3, this is super powerful, guys. Roll yourself a high crit damage one, maybe with offense on it, but the Dark Side buffs level 3 for your Star Killer team, for any number of Dark Side teams, this is a killer level 3. Super high value for a level 3. As far as secrets go, Here's my Pyrocron, my best one. I would prefer that these rolls were crit damage more than armor pen, but honestly, having 100% armor pen, it's okay. Get yourself a good Pyrocron if you got Hondo. Crit damage is nice, but yes. I don't know. I don't think there's any secrets yet that I've heard about. We'll talk about it later though, when we go to record. So you will have the latest and greatest when it is available. Sonastaros had the infinite damage combo a year ago. Yeah. True. I don't know about it. That's right, Aussie Mike. We do reveal like 10 out of the 11 secret herbs and spices, indeed. Michael Baum, I went 12-0 in the second season of Kyber 1. My claim to fame in this game. Cube defense. I don't know what the cube defense is, but well done, man. Incredible work. Would be cool to... Oh. I wonder if I know what you mean by cube. I'll wait for you to explain it, though. Michael Ball, it would be cool to give Drogon max crit damage and one-shot any GL. Yeah, man. I'm noticing in Squad Arena. Let me show you guys this. Actually, I want you to see this. Because... favorable. I guess probably the Rolocron? Or the Wampacron. This seems reasonably oppressive, and I'm guessing that this is set up in this way to go and fight Hondo, because I just have Hondo sitting here in Squad Arena to be an asshole. So, I just want to put this on auto and see what happens, yeah? Now, what I wanted to show you is, I put this on auto twice earlier today and lost both of these auto matches versus Leia's, and... what it has come down to is I didn't quite have enough time to revive the team yet again, which probably would have made the difference. And so if you've heard the latest episode of Plotting and Scheming, Fatal was really advocating for considering full defense on every member of this team, including Hondo. So yeah, people will be slower, but the idea that Leia's going to be able to stack up on you and eventually just hammer out all of your sides at once with an ultimate and likely burn down Hondo. Leia might be a real counter, but I think defense might doom that. What do you think about it? Swugga Gameplay in the chat says, I have over 175% crit damage from the last Datacron set with bonus protection when a character reaches, the product level 3, yeah. Set 23. Yep. Alright, so that was ult 1 from Leia. I want to say we're on ult 2 or 3. So yeah, their protection is gone. Or at least Vayne's is. Boom. Silvo gone. AI does seem to favor taking out Silvo. I have noticed that. Damage that gets stacked up onto Vayne. Having a tank just basic you for 200,000. Okay, so this isn't going to be the attempt where I lose. Alright, fine. Maybe I should have tried it against the Rolocron. We'll have to see. That's what you're using in Arena to beat GL Hondo, but what Kron? What is that? You're saying, oh, the set 23 you mentioned. Yeah. I could believe that. Fair enough. All right. This is a nice auto battle, so we can just take some more questions. There's a bot/spammer in the chat. Appreciate the tip, Lady Geek. We will take care of that expeditiously. Bye. Michael Baum says, my Iden Versio is ranked first in the world in potency. Yeah, I am sure that will be detrimental to those who would attempt Wampa. So, interesting. Jimbo, have you guys heard about the permanent hyperdrive bundles? Honestly, I saw something like cross a headline for me or something on Discord. I didn't read it because I don't participate with hyperdrive bundles, so it doesn't mean anything to me. If it is friendly to all of you guys, then awesome. Awesome. This is Omicron Revive GL Hondo as well. Who's Omicron? Talking about Silva? Oh, why? Yeah, I don't want to do DT. Who's this supposed to be? Oh, yeah, that's supposed to be. Boy, is it funny to watch him slap SM33 to slap people's shit. Oh, it's funny. Silvo's Omicron. I don't know. I'd have to. I'll take a look at it. I am a long way from having that kit committed to memory. Something tells me I shouldn't actually just put this on auto. Yeah. Let's do guided auto. How's that sound? Kick the shit out of him, boys. This guy in particular. Bonk. Yep. Yeah. Give him some hits. How does she hit so hard? SM33 coming soon with the buff immunity. Bye-bye. Alright. What is my greatest GAC comeback win ever? I mean, on a single fight basis, OG fans will recall there was a Night Sisters versus General Grievous fight where I was getting the hose, man. I was getting the hose. And it was just zombie remaining. We were on our last leg. Situation grim. And zombie did a basic. The basic killed. It brought back Daka. Daka got to res. Daka res the whole team. We won the fight. We didn't drop that fight, which means we won the match. I'd have to find it, but that was probably my most single desperate fight that I can recall ever in Grand Arena. Maybe, I remember TJ just a couple weeks ago getting a 61 doing... No, that was me. What was that? Quantity versus something, wasn't it? It was something where I finished with just Millennium Falcon alive for like a 61. It was like the worst possible win ever. It was either me or TJ who did it, but it was me hosting him or something. It was crazy though. So that would be the most desperate win fight. Not quite what you asked, but it was your sass, TJ. Yeah, there it is. I put Sortie in there with some Jawas. Oh, Lady Geek says, I think he means permanent light side bundles. I think they read they're always available until you reach 4 million GP. Nice. That just means you guys have a better, you know, optional springboard into the mid game. And if you're into it, awesome. Awesome. Gas against Saw, the most desperate possible win. I could see that being a rough go. What's your gameplay? Megatron, good to see you, man. See you in the YouTube comments with your emotes. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's right, TJ. Losing 3 of your ships to win for a 61. Rough times. All right. I don't know. We've had some pretty desperate situations. Like, I want to say I've recalled some fights where it was JML, where it's like my JML match versus, I don't know. I don't want to say it was SLKR, but it was something that I was doing, and it was supposed to be a stomp, and it wasn't. Probably something like JMK or Saw or whatever. And we got down just to Jolie, and Jolie got the grand res off, and we were somehow able to stabilize and win the fight. Just weird stuff like that. Megatron with a hydrate. All right, I will take a sip of water, in fact, because I want to make this wine last. All right. Not doing no DTMG there, especially if it's available here. So, who's it gonna be? Slacker and who? Oh, yeah. Valen. What? Slacker here, Valen then. Slacker here. Skywalker was literally on 1 health bar, and then he deleted the whole Saw team. Yeah, one big AoE when they stacked a billion buffs. I believe that. Dusk says Traya versus Gungans. When Jar Jar first came out, and it came down to just Savage and Nihilus, and barely managed to win. That is a desperate battle. It feels bad to have a team that does as much assisting as the Gungans do, and just still, you know, potentially lose with Traya. Hey, things that need to die. Chapter 1. We'll get through this fight. I don't expect any issues. He said moments before exploding. Maybe. Maybe. Ain't good enough, is it? Oh, yes. Dust says, how's it going, Tass? TV being as grand as usual. I mean, you know, you guys have seen me do this enough to know that it's not that bad. I mean, it's what am I supposed to do? Complain that, you know, I'm in the position where I have every Omicron in the game applied. So I have all these TB Omicrons. I've got GLs. It's not bad. And I'm one of the biggest, if not the single biggest account in my guild. So, you know, you can do more type of thing. I don't think TV. It's not that bad. Especially when it's an opportunity to stream. It's not good. Did some remods today, though. I'll show you guys a couple of them. Excited for the new season. Dusk says, I gotta say, I love the Special Forces TIE Pilotron. Feels amazing without being brain dead like the Darkseid Ray focused Datacron. And I could beat JMK in Arena. Yeah, we've had it before. It's a powerful effect, and I like that in particular. It feels like we're kind of free from necessarily having Dre with Slacker, which I'm okay with her being generally bound to him, but I like the idea for 3 versus 3 in particular. I think there might be something. Ren says, I watched your latest plotting and scheming, and some were saying that OG Hondo should go on GL Hondo's team. What do you think? I'm strongly in that camp, yeah. Because it seems that even though the AI may target not the ideal character, there's at least in 5 vs 5 a 20% chance, and therefore 33.33% chance in 3 vs 3 to have Hondo lock down key units that are needed for some of the punch-up counters of today, like Seer Malicos, CLS Rolocron, stuff like that. If you have OG Hondo in there and he locks down the right character, lights out. So yes, for the time being, I think strong argument for OG Hondo in there. Who do you take out? I think for most people in 5 vs 5, you're probably using SM33 in that team as a heavy-hitting attacker, so exchange him. I would still keep Vayne, Brutus, Silvo, if I could, in 5s. In 3 vs 3, certainly, I like the idea of Hondo, and then do you want Vayne? Do you want Brutus? And then you know how quickly Hondo gets that first ult. So what? You've got 2 attackers. Oh, you've managed to kill them. Okay, they're back. Now what? Oh, no, you've killed them again. They're back. Now what? That's not really as much of a threat in 5 vs 5, but in 3 vs 3, that could be a problem. I don't know. SM33 can go with Afra, but I think that's less preferable than keeping the 2 murder droids together. He is a beast, though. If you wanted to do some type of, like, sporty team, you were of the mind to, that would be nasty. Nasty. Let's get a Bailey there. Yeah, I mean, my mind's already turning to 3s, guys. I think a lot of you are probably asking with 5 vs 5 in mind. And yeah, I think I shared some of those thoughts. Feel free to keep asking, though, if you got more questions. Wow. Slugga Gameplay says, I spent over 30,000 crystals to buy Pirate Shards to unlock GL Hondo yesterday. Took him to Relic 9. I'm looking for 3 vs 3 team suggestions as well. So yeah, I think Hondo is a pretty strong case. It's kind of up to you what you think is best, and I have to test it myself to really have a strong sense of it. So that's why I'm offering the idea that either could be good, both could be good. Something like Vayne, and if not Vayne, maybe Brutus? Maybe Silvo? I don't know. You could experiment with the 3rd, but I think there's a pretty solid case to be made for Hondo. Wild NZ says, what's your go-to Hondo counter for 3 vs 3? I won't have him, and wondering what I'm having to do to give up versus my opponents. I'm seeing Leia beat Hondo in Squad Arena 5 vs 5. I think it's a little bit more of a dubious proposition to pull off Leia, at least with last season's Datacron meta in 5 vs 5. But I think there's a stronger case for 3 vs 3 that Leia might work. I'm generally keeping Leia for offense last, 3-4 seasons, reliably, at least. So I would say it's no skin off my ass to keep her for that purpose. But barring that, Seer Malicos Starkiller, maybe? All right, Dusk says, I think that Adrad, Radis, Jin, and K2SO with the Focus Datacron could be viable on defense. Maybe. It depends. It depends on how good stuff like Malgus would be. Because Malgus exceeds at control. And controls exactly what you need to just stomp out a Radis team. So I want it. Based on recent seasons, my gut says Radis might end up being interesting. It doesn't feel like it will be me at first, but the stats on it will be useful. And if you're going to use Radis anyway, especially on offense, I think you'll probably get value for that. All right, the Turd says, I looked at the data on Insights, and it seems like Lord Vader Oppo CX2 is still the best Lord Vader on defense. But what is the plan for Lord Vader? I think that as long as the Rolocron exists, there is the threat of, BCAM, BAM, Grogu, just stomping you out relatively cheaply. So it depends on where you are in the game. In the top end of Kyber 1, saving Lord Vader for offense has kind of been a serious meta consideration. It might be a little harder to pull off a super high banner win with BCAM in 3 vs 3 because you're not generally bringing Bo-Katan Kryze, the original Bo-Katan, which is the, her unique is what restores banners for the most part. Okay, the Turd, your endgame top 50. Well, my apologies, man. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you, but respect on your name. Respect. All right, yeah, what's the plan for Lord Vader? I mean, if I see him, I'm thinking to keep BCAM for that. Let's see, I mean, what if I didn't? I don't know, Leia, if I was going to be successful with Seer Malicos against Hondo? There's a little bit of push-pull to think about there. If you're top 50, then you're already aware of thinking about whether or not Lord Vader makes sense on a round-to-round basis. It also depends on how deep you are into the scouting game. You think drawing Rolo is okay? I think that's fair. Alright. Look at gameplay says, OG Hondo can stack some high damage really quickly with his Datacron. So I think GL Hondo, OG Hondo, and Vayne or Silvo, exactly. I think that's GL Hondo, OG Hondo with the OG Hondo level 9. Solid choice. And that level 9, I think you could experiment with. Intuitively, it feels right to put a tank with the team, but you're thinking about a tank because, I want a tank because I don't want them to focus down my squishies because if they die, then they're dead. And it's like, but then Hondo can bring them back. Which brings about the idea, it depends on your level of relic investment, too. This is more painful for your opponent if you're at the higher levels, 8 and 9. And it takes them a little bit more time to put down those side characters every time Hondo brings them back. You could maybe want to see why you might test without using Vayne. But at the very least, Vayne is a third. I can't say it's bad. All right. Dust says, I'll take Malgus on Adrad, to be honest, although he's good for Iden or DTMG. Yeah, I think the game's grown enough to the point where if I feel the meta favors keeping Malgus for offense, which I've definitely been feeling, okay, fine, you managed to pull my Malgus, but the game isn't where it was like 2 years ago, right? It's less of a big deal that you managed to draw my Malgus. I've got enough teams, right? Yeah, I think that's less punishing than it could be. Baby Yoda Eye says, I'm considering Balin for Hondo in 3 vs 3 as well. I don't want to say you're wrong. Maybe it could be a brutal stomp. You've got a Marokron right now. It's kicking. Uh, as a core, teams that are designed like Balin's, where it's designed around like a core trio. Of course, they're going to be at their most efficient, most powerful in 3 versus 3. So I could see that maybe working. I don't want to. Don't let me tell you you're wrong. I am eagerly going to be, keeping my ear to the ground, and you'll watch me stream and see what I end up testing. But I can only test so much, right? Yeah. And then I don't even want to think about how many Erodiums I'll see this season. Look at gameplay. If I don't put a tank, there's a chance they might kill GL Hondo first. Yeah, I guess, but remember, you're starting with preload on your ultimate. Yes, not great that it delays captive going out if they start with something like Han and they're able to stun him, prevent his, first turn, prevent that first captive. Okay, and that's why I'm saying maybe Vayne is better, but you're having a kind of a unique circumstance where you can actually consider whether or not a tank is the better performance part in 3 versus 3 when revive is on the table. Because if they kill Hondo, whatever, you're starting with however much preload. I don't know, it feels like it's 40% when I'm thinking about the bar. Let's go take a look at Squad Arena again. Yeah, and let's we'll fight another Ray or Leia. But what is that Silvo only? Since we were talking about it earlier. While in Grand Arenas, whenever an enemy with bonus protection, protection up, or shield up attacks out of turn, they lose 10% of their max protection. Whenever an enemy gains protection up, they are exposed for 1 turn. Whenever an enemy loses turn meter, all pirate allies recover 25% health and protection and gain 1 stack of profit. Whenever pirate allies gain protection up, they also gain 5% turn meter. Whenever Pirate King Hondo Ohnaka is the ally in the leader slot, the first time any pirate ally is defeated, if they had a stack of profit, they revive with 100% health and protection. So it's an individual revive. I don't know, man. I could see the Hondo Silvo for this reason. First time any pirate ally is defeated, if they had a stack of profit, they revive with 100% health and protection. So what if you burst down my Hondo? Then, you stop him from getting his captive out. Oh no! Then he comes back, and then you put out captive, and you're like, oh, I didn't like that, so I'm going to kill your Hondo. Then you kill my OG Hondo, and then my Pirate King Hondo gets his first ultimate charge and brings it back again. Oh no, you got me! You see what I'm talking about? There's merit to that consideration, so I can feel it. Does this include GL Hondo as well for the revive? Well, no, he's the one that casts it, so he does need to be alive. He himself has to be the one that casts the ability. So both of his sides can be dead. He can be on death's door. He hits that button, he'll be all right. Those two are coming back. Gonna be all right. I agree. I think OG Hondo is key for 3s and captive. I think he's key to this team for the time being. People are able to do like Seer Malicos with the Wampacron, and that Wampacron is going to be with us for another 5 versus 5 yet. Maybe Seer Malicos isn't as good in 3 versus 3. That might not be so reliable. But you will have to think about that Wampacron, and maybe once that's gone, maybe once Rolocron is gone, and there are less punch-up options, assuming that the new Datacron meta doesn't enable something lower to punch up, which, to be honest, I'd be surprised if it didn't, you might be able to free OG Hondo from this team, but I think for the time being, yeah, the incentives line up. There's a lot of reason to keep him here. Anyway, I forget what we were looking for to see in this fight, but I'm still going to hit the button. on full unguided auto, so I just want to see what it's going to do. Okay, lock down Radis. I mean, could be worse. Oh, does Silva revive Gio Hondo though? I don't know. I don't think I've been put to the test in that way. The way that defense. Sorry, I misunderstood the question earlier. My bad. I would expect that it would. I really would expect that it would. The language doesn't seem to exclude him. I don't think I had a fight go that way. I think it does work that way. Yeah, it was a solid choice. Yeah, no, I am... Sorry, spoiler gameplay. I misunderstood. Yeah, Dusk made it clear. My bad. Yeah, I think Silvo could make that happen. I think there's a case there. That seems like... See what I'm talking about? So, Vayne is cool because he's a tank. He does insane tank things. He's... Fatal said when we did the video covering his kit, he's like a 2026 tank in 2025. He's got a just insane kit. And so, yeah, you could have him, or you might try something like what we're talking about with Silva. But with the revives built into the team, there's merit to it. Exactly, the turd. There is no exclusion stated, so I don't see why it wouldn't revive the Galactic Legend. It can be done. Agreed. Yeah. Make Silva a great candidate for 3 vs 3? Yeah. Get the last bit of this wine in the glass. Shout out to Mrs. T for making just an incredible steak dinner tonight. This is massive porterhouse, done up the way I like. Salt, the pepper. Garlic butter. He added garlic cloves, the rosemary, the thyme. Caramelized onions, sauteed mushrooms. Steak on a Friday can't get much better. That's what I'm telling you, man. It's been, you know, probably like a month since I had a steak, something like that. Not too long, maybe like 3 weeks, something like that. You know, but there's never a wrong time for a steak. Alright, looks like Otto's taking the day on this one. I swear, I've seen me lose. I'm trying to show you the holes in the bucket where they can eventually overwhelm. And I was trying to do this to show you that with high defense. Oh, see, there you go. Alright, here you go. We might lose this yet. So she's just able to hammer out the sides. What the fuck was this crown, by the way? Yeah. It's a Rolo crown. So there's that health with the fueling the true damage. And so yeah, this is the task. Can they burn you down before you get to the next ultimate? I'm thinking the answer is yes. So here's a potential answer for 5 vs 5 next season. Here you go. Granted, Squad Arena is not Grand Arena, but yeah. That's right, a steak dinner, caramelized onions. My Mrs. T can make a steak. Several years ago, if you guys remember, this was like kind of a semi-viral thing. There was this masterclass thing. It was like a pre-COVID kind of phenomenon. Masterclass, this like web series, you could sign up and have like famous celebrities teach you about whatever. I got the one for my wife back then for Gordon Ramsay, and she picked up a bunch of things, among which is the way he prepares a steak, and with a couple of tweaks, because my grandfather makes probably the best steak I've ever had. And it's a bit about preparation, it's a bit about seasoning, but it's mostly about the sear. And with a couple adjustments from what that taught, it's pretty much the perfect steak for me. And Mrs. T really hit it out of the park tonight. It was a good one. All right. Ray Rock says, "Good evening, Tass and chat. I haven't had steak for about 3 or 4 months since it's too expensive. Yeah, I don't have it all the time. I had one about 3 weeks ago just because my Mrs. wanted to surprise me and found a really good deal on them because she knows I love steak. But it's not something I'm trying to have all the time because of aforementioned expense and probably cholesterol issues. But best steak is made with a fast sear and right into the oven. I can see the case for that. I really, really can. She did it so well. I think that is how she does it, in fact. She does it in the cast iron, yeah? Hits it real hot on the big sides, on the small sides, rotates it around. Baste. Throw in the rosemary, the thyme, baste into the oven to finish. If I get a show to sponsor me for it, you could definitely pay me to go be a fat guy and rate food if you want to see just how much I love food. Yeah. Get me on a travel show eating foods, not weird food. I'm not eating nobody's eyeballs, all right? Not doing that. Not eating no bugs. Just food. All right, I had great luck with Sear Malicos and the Wampa Prawn, says Rokarin. I believe that. Yep. Yeah, you remember those MasterChef classes? It was Master Class was the series, but it was like they had like Hans Zimmer teaches about classical music composition. They had Gordon Ramsay teaches about cooking. So that's the video series I got her, right? But it was like different experts in different areas curated under this Master Class series. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, cast iron sear into oven to get the temp. Yep. The oven ensures you get the inside cooked properly without burning the outside as you would if you tried to cook it solely on the cast iron. It's true. And you can always tell the difference because that wonderful sear turns into a char, turns into a blackened crust. And while the inside will be, perfectly medium rare, you've irredeemably tarnished the experience. The turd says, FY, thank you for the stream. Tom Ford with his food stamps is the best in the game, but Task Masterclass streaming is my go-to. I'm assuming you're talking about Tom Ford, the Swugga player. Yeah, he is. He's one of the leanest, meanest machines out there, so I can see why you would respect his game. That is fair. Right. I think we're mostly caught up on questions. How am I doing on Dark Side? Okay, good job, guys. We finished Zone 1. 4 zones to go. Yay! We'll get this done by like 5 a.m. Oh yeah, I Relic 9'd Bo-Katan Kryze recently just so that I could have every opportunity to make sure that none of these guys died. Because in this mission, sometimes you lose a side, and I want to say BKK would help. Also, I have occasionally wanted to have, what's her name? Padawan Sabine available. Vector. No. I hate that taunt. No. You asshole. Best AoE ever. Okay, so what are we looking at? A good amount of buffs. Decent value to do the Dispel. And maybe we even take a tank with us. No. Alright. Who needs sleep when you got Swugga? That's right, Dusk. And if you guys were here for the other night, appreciate you guys. It was a super fun stream. That said, man, I was hurt the next day. I was tired. And not hungover. Just, I don't know. Just tired. I would cop to it if I was hungover. You all know I would. No. Cast us fleet so I don't have to. Yay! I'm a trooper like that. Dusk says, "Hey Tass, now with the support cron gone, what do you do with there was a Ray Ezra and a GL Hondo on defense. Leia for Ray and Seer Starkiller Malicos for Hondo?" I think that the advantages of Hondo's Revive are at their best in 5 vs 5. In 3 vs 3, I wonder if Leia doesn't have the advantage. Seer Malicos is a proven solution to Rey in 3 vs 3. Sometimes it requires Starkiller when the metas are disparate for those teams. Oh, if it was I think I might do it the way I just described, but the real answer is it depends on how heavy of a defense I expect my opponent to set, because I might be inclined to take risks depending on which way they go. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but I want to say that Leia is going to be a bit stressed. Oh, that's right. I forgot to show you guys a couple of the remods I did. Don't let me forget. I do want to show you. First, you must die. So, Tico, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Howdy, pal. Good to see you. Yeah, my cheeks are rosy red. That's going to be the wine. Yeah, I love wine. Wine loves me. You got long-term fans of the stream know that I also love whiskey, but whiskey stopped loving me as much a couple years back. Man, like, I can still drink it like water. Goes down wonderfully. Doesn't matter, really, the proof. And then the rest of me is like, you know what you just drank, right? So, wine it is. Holden Desporte says, "Hi there, I play this game, Execute Order Mandalorian." Yeah, man, I you know, TB, it used to be super onerous for me. But once I got to the point in the game where I had TB Omicrons that I could apply, and I could start doing stuff like this fight without the Omicron on pause is not impossible. It's just tougher, and it doesn't need help being tougher when, for the most part, you might take any of these characters but Bo-Katan Kryze to Relic 9 for a variety of reasons. It's literally just today that I took this character to Relic 9, and she feels like the key to making this feel super secure long term. Guess we're gonna get the hose. It's gonna be good. No, yeah, good question, Dusk. Appreciate that. Vinal Tavi says, "If you're doing a cooking show, please do it in a Danish chef outfit from the Muppets." Bird all the way. I
believe that's the Swedish chef.
Yeah. Pork. Yeah. I wish Probably too late for Kevin, but Kevin's a patron. He's actually, I want to say, a Swede. Let me get his take. Yeah, see? Yeah, exactly, Tiny Bubbles. Thought he was. How's it going, Davey?
Forward. Getting these conquests knocked out.
Yeah, you told me earlier this week that you were already just about through Sector 5. Pushed it down.
All that's left are feats now.
That's nice. Yeah, like I was telling you the other night, usually my week 1 thing is to get to the end of Sector 4 and then just kind of bounce between Sector 1 treasure node, Sector 4 treasure node, blow out my inventory as much as possible so that, you know, I've got 20-ish really solid crons from the previous set and then maybe 10-ish good crons from this newest set, something like that.
It's a good target number.
Yeah, well, yeah, for Kyber 1, you got to have like 15 for offense, 15 for defense, so that's a fair nominal. All right, secrets, says the turd. Back to secrets. What is the one single mod change that is key to making 3 versus 3? DJ, are you still here? DJ, you change your mod set a lot between 3 versus 3 and 5 versus 5. I'm prepared to give an answer. I'm going to have to sit and think about it because the honest first take is at a certain point you have the mods where you mod for whatever is the more restrictive case between 3 versus 3 and 5 versus 5. And outside of like speed modding for turn order things, there wouldn't be a reason to change that. So that's kind of how I've set myself up. At a certain size of awesome mods, you just mod for whatever's the worst case between 3s and 5s, and then you just leave it. And that's kind of what I've done. But TJ, what would you say? Yeah, you're welcome to join the voice, but if you're busy, you're welcome to just respond here in the chat, and we'll get your opinion in regardless. But what would you say are some key units to consider remodding for 3 versus 3? I mean, it's easy to say Lord Vader, because in 5 versus 5, if you're mostly looking at him like I do, you're going to have him in at least 3 protection primaries most of the time. I guess I have him in this speed because it's doing what I want to do speed-wise. Yeah, I'm 590. Yeah, at Relic 9, the spec I was going for was 300,000 life total, so I'm kind of barely skating over the line there, just a couple thousand life total to spare. Crit damage triangle, 13,000 offense, 590 speed. This is a super, just crazy, nutty spec, but strictly speaking, for 3 versus 3, you would ideally want these primaries to be health, because Lord Vader Oppo CX2. CX2 is giving his Empire allies plus 100% max health. That's just straight up more life total. Why not take advantage? You could do that, but when you're at Relic 9, you've got the mods that I can do to be at 300,000 life total. I guarantee you nobody's going to come at me light. Whatever the meta is, unless it's something where they get to outright just cheese you out on mechanics, where it wouldn't really save you if you had a bit bigger of a life total on Lord Vader. I'd like to see who's able to make mincemeat of this when I just keep it in protection primaries in 3 versus 3 anyway. You dig? Alright, JMK with accuracy arrows. Yeah, that is super important to a lot of people that are not me. Just today, I remodded him, and he's now at 585. He is the fastest he has ever been for me. Just under 12,000 offense. I'd like to push that up some more. But as far as an accuracy arrow, that's kind of interesting. I really wasn't thinking about this. And you can see just how few I have. What the hell is this? Well, I guess I could technically make this one work, because the other 2 of these I wouldn't want to disturb, but you can see just how few I have. I'm not a big fan of them. I think it's a bias. I don't have the best excuse for it. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. So I'm going to keep that the way it is. Dusk said, having Mace helped me so much with getting feats done. Managed to get Red Crate super quick. Managed to snag 4 level 9s and 2 max focus Datacrons in the current set. That's a good haul. Nicely done. Which focus Datacron from this set are you bringing up first, says Rokaran? I think probably the most powerful feels like the Radiscron. Yeah. Jabba versus Wampa, anything? BKM turn order? Yeah, let's see what TJ has to say, because I haven't changed a lot of this sort of thing now. It's tough to remember what was sensitive to that kind of spec change. Let me scroll and check. Oh, yeah, let me just show you a couple other highlights from my remod before I do that. So we're at like 236,000 health on Rey, 535 speed, just about 12,600 offense, and 58% armor. She is much faster than I have typically ever had her. So we'll see. Darkside Rey still kept her in the offense set. I think in the end, I'm trying to have her, at or over 300 speed, over 100,000 health, and then over 11,000 offense. So we'll see how that goes. Who else? I think I did just remod Slacker as well. Check this. He was 595 speed, now he's only 590. We went from 163,000 health to 160. Still kept the crit damage triangle, and then my previous spec, this character hasn't been remodded in actual years. It was like 12,000 offense. He is now every bit of 13,000 on the nose. Fight him. Fight him. All right, Michael Baum says, I noticed Tom Ford and Kyber 1 used Home 1 fleet with Razor Crests and a New Blood Punishing 1. Is this actually better than using Executor? I want to say that fleet is used to counter the updated Profundity fleet, right? And you absolutely can use it. I've heard tell of that, and it's very clever, and that sounds very much like a Tom Ford thing to do. Is it actually better than using Executor to fight Profundity? I think Executor, if you're talking about using Executor to fight Profundity, I think that matchup is kind of dead in the water right now, man. If they've got a Rogue One and Rogue One's on defense and Rogue One has that reinforcement ability maxed out, like you're not landing breach, you're not advancing your contract. I don't like it. All right. Yeah, you did, and then you went on to say, Michael, that you consider Tom Ford to be the best player in the world. It's not an unfair opinion. Pound for pound, that is a very smart choice, smart horse to put your bet on. He's in the top 50 reliably, which is no joke. He is millions down on GP compared to most of his opponents, and he is often pushing the envelope in a way that is very similar, to what we see from Fatal and, I don't know, maybe some other very risk-taking content creators. But yeah, Tom does good stuff. I'm good. Tom is an excellent spoiler player. No critique to be offered there. TJ says, kind of changed out with Focus Datacrons being there. Tuscans are obviously big. Yeah, I don't remod my Tuscans for 3s. I just keep them in their 3 versus 3 mods. No accuracy on Crosshair either. I mean, I just don't put effort into farming accuracy arrows, dude. I get you've never seen me argue against an accuracy arrow on Crosshair. I get it. I just grit my teeth and don't like them. I'm copping to that. What do you want from me, What are you missing? Your Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot now to use with the new Datacron? I am missing that cron, yeah. Out of all of the new crons that I was wanting to have for this first week, that is the one that I am sorely missing, is the Special Forces. So that is hot on my list. For lock, for sure. Howie Hero says, question, do you think guilds should care about TB ranks or face-by-face basis? Just wondering, because I had a buddy get kicked from a top-end guild because he was in the lower ranks. He doesn't do phase 1 and really phase 2, of course. He was in the guild above 680 million GP. Here's what I said. Every guild is purely optional to be in. If your guild is worth your time at all, then they're clear about what their expectations are of you. And if you're the guy that's going to phone it in and they want you to participate, if not in phase 1, then in phases 2 on, and you don't participate in phase 1, and you don't participate in phase 2, and then you don't get kicked, you're thinking, they don't really care about it, so come next TB, I'm going to do it again. Maybe they can't kick you right now, but what you did is you made yourself look replaceable, because if they stated their guild policy and you fucked off anyway, then you fucked off. And then if they replace you, what am I supposed to say? Oh, it's a terrible shame that your friend ended up getting himself replaced for not following the stated requirements of his guild. I mean, go to a guild that's more casual. Go to somewhere that doesn't care about TB as much. Because, anybody can sit here and want the top rewards from guilds that are going to push for high stars in TB. But if you're going to be one of 50 that just feels like you don't have to do anything, then of course you're going to be at the top of the list to get replaced. That's just the way it is, man. Lepana82 says, I just jumped on stream. Sorry if you've mentioned it already. I found a bunch of fast crit damage mods. Are there a couple of tunes who you think would benefit from a crit damage set over an offense set? I think I saw you ask this on my Discord just before I went live. I couldn't answer it. There are some characters that favor crit damage. In general, think of it like this. For fights where it's really just about the first couple of turns that the character takes to make their impact on the fight overall. If they don't make that impact, then it matters less. And in general, where you don't need that upfront punchiness, you're probably better off going with an offense set. But for characters that do make a good use of crit damage, the first one that comes to mind would be JKA. Now, the set that I have him in these days isn't that good as I recall. But the idea here is it's under 10k, so it's not that great. But the idea is that this is a guy who, when it's on the line and you've killed that ally of his and it's time to explode the enemy team, I'm not trying to think about any type of other bonuses that might give him more offense later in the fight. It's all about up front kapow right now. So he's a classic choice. I want to say I have Marok. Marok is interesting because I want to say crit chance is taken care of by Soldier of Fortune. So if you give him a decent amount of crit chance as a baseline, and then he's getting whatever he's getting from Soldier of Fortune, he's a special offense character. So having it at 60%, and then he's going to gain, I want to say, something like 30% crit chance or something from Soldier of Fortune. He's just going to pop people, right? So I like that. I like that on him. Yeah, I need to get better crit damage mods. If you're more of a Fatalesque sort of player, you might appreciate the virtues of Galactic Legend supports wearing crit damage sets, having health primaries on the arrow, cross, and circle, ideally with high offense and speed, and a crit damage triangle. Because, paired with Cam and let's say under Queen or wherever, they're a serious damage threat. Like that Cam unique converting 10% max health to added offense on characters that are modded like that, like Master Qui-Gon, Grandmaster Yoda, strong candidates. And why? Just because big slaps. Like technically speaking, crit damage, how to put this? All else being equal, like not adding a whole bunch of offense to make offense disproportionately more valuable, but like just keeping everything kind of level. A hit with 10,000 offense and a crit damage set would hit harder than than in a crit damage triangle would hit harder than an offense set in a crit damage triangle on a single per hit basis. But the fact is, so many teams scale better with offense, and that's why it's the default. Hopefully, you have some insight on that. Feel free to follow up, though. Yeah, you're welcome for that explanation, Doodle. No problem. Yeah, you got 2 special forces, Kron's Dusk. It's it's the way it is. Feast and famine. Bird says, I love Iden, and since she's key for fleets and the focus Datacron, I want to find a use. You're in top 50, like you said, so perfectly honest, I don't know how much use you're going to get out of it in top 50. If you're able to draw Freya and Gungans, and then you've got Iden in the back as one of the 5 in the back, maybe that's tough. If you draw a variety of the likely suspects, and you're setting a tough enough defense otherwise that they're not able to overkill it, that might be tough to do, though, man. I don't know. Yeah, Baum says, I faced and lost Tom Ford and Captain. My claim to fame is 12-0 in the second season of Kyber 1 and 94-2 in the final 8 of Grand Arena before the Kyber system came out years ago. Yeah, that's a fine achievement, man. Yeah, I have fought Tom Ford, and I want to say in the matchups that we have had, I have won, and I probably should. I am the favorite in terms of size and resources and everything, so I believe I have won. And Captain, funny you should mention Captain. I think I fought him, if not for the first time, then for the first time in a very, very long time, because I honestly can't remember, just here at the end of last season. And yeah, I mean, I also have a lot on the guy, so I did manage to win, and my GL Hondo gave him some trouble. The rest of the defense gave him more trouble. I had GL Hondo, he didn't. Again, I was the favorite. I should have won, and then I won. All right. Yeah, Depressed Wolf says, that's my favorite hat for sure. Yeah, man, it's not too terribly hot in here right now. Holy crap, it is a little hot. It is a little hot. Not actually pouring sweat, but I lifted the hat off my head and I felt an actual waft, like a puff of heat. Bang. All right. Yeah, I didn't hear a follow-up on that guild-related question, though. Who asked that? Yeah, Owie Hero, feel free to follow up if you had more on that, because the bottom line is you choose the guild that you're in. If you don't choose a guild who's like their expectations for what the work that you get done on a weekly basis, if you're not in line with that, then you chose that guild. Choose a different guild. If you want 25 crystals for one more star, oh well. Yeah, the turd. Yeah, I understand. For the higher stars, there really, especially for the higher stars, there really isn't a lot of value in pushing hard, other than you can. And you could make the argument that the longer the game goes, the longer those incremental little advantages add up as the TBs tick on by. But yeah, I think that's fair. Again, it's more important that you as a player are in a guild that is in line with you and the amount of time that you want to spend clearing content, Lepana says, thanks, mate. That was very helpful explanation. Thanks for taking the time for it. Very happy to. Yeah, happy to help. Vin says, what's your view on crit damage versus armor penetration in the new Datacrons? I feel like crit damage would be more valuable because armor penetration is only for those characters with physical damage. Not only that, but there are not so many characters with an actual solid armor penetration base value. If you're increasing, like Jedi Cal, who has an armor penetration rating, I want to say of something like actual 11, you give that 400%. Oh boy, look at you with your 44 armor penetration, you know? You know what I'm saying? So, like, generically speaking, crit damage is far more widely applicable than armor penetration. Hit that playlist roll. Yeah. Does armor penetration affect Rey's ult? It does not. Rey's ultimate is true damage, so it is unmodified by any type of penetration modifier. It is whatever her offense is at that time. Her offense, at the start of battle, plus whatever she has ramped through her mastery gains. That divided by the number of living enemy targets, that is the number. Like, that is happening. Had a couple interactions here. Swugga Player says, hats off. Thank you for watching tonight, Swugga Player. Appreciate you interacting here in the chat. Hats off to you. And Mike L. Babs followed the channel. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you. All right. Michael Baum asks, what is my best TW victory? Ever faced an undefeated guild in TW? I'll be honest with you, man. I've been in the best TW guild in the world. I've been in guilds that are not quite that high. And I gotta say that for me, TW is about reward. I'm here for Grand Arena, guys. I love Grand Arena in this game so much. TW for me is about rewards. I got up into the best guild in the world and enjoyed my time there because they were printing the most rewards for me, and that was the way to get it done. The game has evolved since then. You've got stuff like era battles that significantly expand your access to things like droid brains, making things like TW wins even that much less important. And I know that's not what the PvP fans want to hear, the TW fans, because, I know the TW fans desperately want change, and they need it more than GAC does. And that's me saying that. I love GAC much more. Yeah. As far as what my favorite TW victory is, I'd struggle to think. I would say, I can't remember who we were fighting. It was a very important war, obviously, when you hear the story, but I want to say that there was something like 40 plus people that I personally walked through at least one, if not two, fleet battles in the course of one TW back when I was in Vanguard. I can't remember what the war was. I can't remember exactly how many fights I did, but it was many hours. And in all those battles, I want to say there were maybe only two people who fucked up, who just clicked a button that they didn't need to click or weren't told to click. So all in all, like, not only did we get the win, not only was it a lot of work, but people were largely cooperative. And I got to tell you, there are some times where that is not the case, where people tag you to lead them through a fight. You get in. Now, granted, the instructions for the fight were there beforehand. There was a write-up. There was a video. Did they watch that? No, I'm sorry. I'm kind of out. I'm doing something. It's like, oh, you have a life. Wow, that's hilarious. So do I. We all have lives. Wow. Anyway, sure. Let me walk you through this fight. And then as I'm walking through the fight, it's like, yeah, okay. You do 1, then 2, then 3. And so they do 1, then 2, then 4. And I'm like, why did you do that? It's like, well, I just thought there was a right thing. Why did you think? You asked me here. You asked for me. Why are you thinking if you asked for me? If you're thinking, fucking think. Do the fucking fight for yourself. Anyway, we only had 2 people like that, I want to say, or 2 fights like that in that whole war. And yes, this is why I don't lead TW shit. Yeah, I'm only happy-go-lucky on stream, guys. Yeah. Offense on the Kron does affect Rey's ult. Yes, Dusk. Yes, offense does modify the damage done by her true damage. Guru says, when you put it that way, it is cheaper to buy era battle access for droid brains than build a gauntlet roster. Maybe. I already had a Gauntlet roster before their era battle, so who am I to say? I don't know. Being in a guild that gets you the most TW rewards that you can reasonably access is, from my point of view, the best decision you can make. And yeah, that's it. That's about it. Dusk says, I just want a different background than Jakku. Seriously, TW does need legitimate change. Yeah, I mean, I sympathize. I really do. I don't personally care a lot about TW, but it needs help. For the amount of time and effort that TW officers have to put into it, there's got to be some type of give. It's too much stress. Like, the fact that anybody in the Gauntlet feels compelled that they need to stay up 24 hours to win a battle in a phone game feels undignified for everybody involved. It just doesn't feel right. Like, come on, guys. Like, CG could. We've talked about this 100 billion times, but even just expanding the TW period to 36 hours, and proportionately shifting out the time for phases, whatever, it would alleviate so much stress because a lot of the top guilds are international. And so you're going to have points where you're chasing after a certain section of your membership who is asleep right now. And then when they wake up, they're waking up to nasty grams. We need you. We needed you 4 hours ago. We sent out this message at 4 a.m. in your local time, but we really needed you. And now it's 8 a.m. and you're late. And it's like, nobody likes that experience. It's like, what are they supposed to do? Not ask you to do the fight? What are you supposed to do? Set your alarm for 4 a.m. to wake up to play a phone game? I ain't doing that. Like, I really feel like CG could respect the people that work so hard at TW. Nice Swugger gameplay, yeah. You're a hard worker in TW, I respect that. Michael Baum, what are the most broken Datacrons in the history of Swugga, in your opinion? Surely the original Raycron in set 1 was among them, and it did exactly what I feared it would do. It narrowed the options to defeat her to, I want to say, 1 or 2. It was grim. The next set after that had a JMK Cron, and I can't remember exactly what the mechanic was, but it was awful. It was tough to deal with. I want to say a couple sets later was an Empire set that, in addition to having some really, really strong level 6 action, it had dodge. This was the first time they put in dodge on a set. And you're talking... Now, granted, Jagger's made this point a bunch of times. The amount of people who actually spent the kind of money to have a significant amount of dodge stack in that first run, you're really not going to see a lot of them outside of the top 50. Well, guess where I am, motherfucker? Hi. This is me in the top 50 at that time, fighting a lot of people with 200, 400 plus % dodge on their crons. So it was not great. I did not care for the experience. Swugga Gameplay says, I love GAC, but there's 1 or 2 officers in my guild that keep asking me to put in more TW Omicrons, but I don't enjoy TW as much. I enjoy GAC, where I can actually see my teams make a difference. With those GAC Omis, I can see my teams make a difference with those GAC Omis. But if you're giving me a pre-planned team with a preset Datacron for the team, which I don't enjoy, then it becomes not so enjoyable as a player. It really depends. You need to find a guild that aligns with you, man. There's enough guilds where there's a guild that aligns with your work ethic, in terms of what you want to do in TW. The fact is that the rewards from TW are still nice. For most players, it is the best source of Datacron progression for rerolls. Want to do high-end rerolls, but you're not wanting to spend money? You got to win TWs. That's just it. The brains, of course, are nice, but like I was mentioning with era battles, especially if you're wailing to participate in the later tiers of those era battles, you're getting enough brains back where TW doesn't feel like you need to sweat about brains so much. So, yeah. But you need to find a guild that works with you, man. If the guild that you're in is asking you to put more effort into TW, they're trying to win more TWs. And, like, if you feel like you're putting in the amount of effort that you want to put in for the amount of wins that they're getting in TW, then you need to leave the guild. Because they're telling you they're reaching up for something else. You're no longer compatible with the guild culture. If they're wanting to go in that direction and you're wanting to just do your thing, go where other people are wanting to just do that thing, man. They're out there. You can find them. It won't be hard. And you've been saying you got a pretty strong account. You will be happy to have it. Seriously, people that view TW the same way as you do, they want to put in only a certain amount of effort, not a second more. They're out there, man. You'll be all right. Yeah, Swuggle player. The worst was the dodge run. It was a bad time. Yeah, DeCop says, that's why I rage quit Swuggle a year ago. I woke up to 13 Discord pings and DMs from my guild during a TW. It's difficult to not take it personally because nobody wants to wake up to a bunch of nasty grams, but it's like the idea that it's like, you know where I am, and you know when you wrote this message. Maybe you weren't thinking about me personally, but you had to have known that I'm a US player, and you knew that when you wrote this message, it was 4 a.m. for me. What the fuck did you expect? So when you're tagging me with exclamation points and red coloring on the text, 4 hours later, bright and early, 8 a.m. for me, and you're like, we need you to get through this wall. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't be thankful for the experience. Yeah. Sure. Ray Rock says, most of all, I need those Mark III Datacron reroll mats so I can get the level 9s my guild wants me to get. Yeah, especially for free-to-play or low-spend players. TW wins are important, man. You really need those materials, and that's the best way to get them. Those TW wins. Lady Geek says, I'm still looking for a guild that aligns with my work ethic where I'm the backpack and they're hard carrying. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many guilds actually are doing that for people. Here's what I think. Like, if anybody has any level of ambition, there is definitely a guild. This applies in life, right? And anywhere else, right? There is somebody in the next rung up, the next best thing that you want to go for, that is working less than you are to have better than what you have. Like, if you have the motivation for it, you can displace people that just don't give a shit. Because I used to be one of these people making the decisions. And especially in the Gauntlet, that was, it's tough to replace people because it's tough to find people that have the accounts in the first place, like have a viable account for what we want to do. And then, yeah, having the availability, the stated availability and everything, that can also be a challenge. But you got people that continuously show themselves to phone it in, phase after phase, TB after TB, or if it's TW, whatever. But TW usually is just straight up not accepted. Because any of those gauntlet kills are usually very serious about the TW. TB is still important, but perhaps not quite as mission critical. Yeah. There are still, even in these top guilds, a surprising number of players that get backpacked through TB. So, reach for the stars, Lady Geek. You'd be surprised what you can find out there. Gus says, the Padme Crom was awful. The attacks out of turn did 1 damage. I remember that. That was not great. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough to deal with. One guild we faced placed a full wall of JMK Padme Crom, and we couldn't clear it at all. Tilting for sure. But Lord Vader dodge was by far the worst. That was so bad, guys. It felt so terrible. I hated it. AY says, I do sympathize with the feeling that putting TW homies on defense feels bad. I didn't put 3 homies on trench, not to use trench on offense ever. Yeah, trench isn't seeing a lot of service these days, but with this focus Datacron, I expect a resurgence. Where are we? Oh yeah. That's right, we still have to do TB battles. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're already an hour and a half into the stream. You guys are monsters. Is this right? That's it. All right. Just stinks though. The game's gone. I mean, yeah, top end competition in TW. I know TW fans have been saying it's been stale, it's been dull for a long time. Fair. I don't have a lot to say. So, yeah. Mole Pills, the Mad Hatter. How are you? How are you this Friday night? Good to see you, Pills. Welcome. We're here in the stream chat. I think it's me and Davey. Yeah, so after stream, guys, the few of us that were in here on voice for the last stream were hanging out in Discord chatting for a while more. I went to bed. I said, you guys keep on going. And then literally they kept on going for like another, I don't know, 4 hours. So, Hills, you're welcome to jump back in with us. But, yeah, good time. Good time the other night. Appreciate all the gifted subs. I imagine a ton of people watching tonight have not had to watch the very first commercial, thanks to you. So thank you, man. Oh yeah, Ray Rock. I love the dash dodge crown with the potato head Ray team combo. Yeah, I remember that. That was something. So Tico says TW would be cooler if they just group PvP and PvE Omicrons together, a la GAC TW, and then PB Conquest, Raids, and Galactic Challenges. I see. Making a category where it's shared between GAC and TW. Careful what you wish for, man. Some of those TW Omicrons are really powerful. Unless you want to... I feel like most folks at this stream don't necessarily prefer cheesing. I fear that activating TW Omicrons in Grand Arena would mean that you'd be needing to save a lot more of the top end of your roster to you guys don't know what you're asking for. I think you think Great Mothers is bad now. Man, Trench is only occasionally good with those TW Omicrons active in Grand Arena. Boy.
Hey there, friend. How are you?
Hey, Pills. How's it going, man? Good to have you.
I'm well. I'm just gonna enjoy the view. I may pipe in from time to time. I heard you talking about TW, man.
Yeah.
I miss and don't miss some of those really intense Shadowlands TWs, man.
Definitely had some great wars, though.
Those were the good old days, but man, they were stressful.
I hear that. I do.
But they were great. Like when you came out on top and you beat Ma 1 or Ta, whatever it was. Yeah, it was great. Holy smokes, man. It just consumed your weekend sometimes because you're like,
you're a little quiet. I don't know why. You're just a little quiet.
Oh, it might be me in general.
Fair.
Yeah, it is. It's 2012 here, and I am 2 whiskeys deep. So
2012. It took me a second to realize that you were talking military time. Yeah. I'm sitting here. How are you back in time?
No, I said 20 of 12, so 20 to midnight.
Oh, 20 of 12. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you're East Coast. Like that.
I am. I'm a Boston boy. I'm as East Coast as it gets. Short of being.
That is. Yeah. God. It's tough to be more East without being a swimmer.
True story. And right until the Great Whites leave the Northeast, I don't want to go in the water.
Fair enough. Michael Baum asks, have you accidentally upgraded a junk mod to 6 dot? Many times. I mean, when I say many times, enough times that mods like that became pilot mods. So if you were to look through all my pilots and you were to look at some of them, a lot of them are in some really shitty mods. Tassenix, why would you take a mod like that to 6 dots? Great question. Some of them were from before I knew better. Most of them, I'd like to say most of them that aren't that are going to be a misclick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, those crap mods went on bigs.
Yeah, I have some bad mods on bigs. It's some bumpy stuff.
Because you're not using bigs in a fight, but you sure as hell at some point were using bigs in a fleet battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nope. 100% get that. That was my mod existence prior to Hot Utils.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't realize I still have this on auto. Please, you gotta chill here. Ooh, that's good. Okay. Wow, that auto was actually working out pretty well. All things considered. Yeah.
I gotta say, back in the day, auto was not great. It looks like auto is better. Maybe they changed the algo or something.
Auto's still auto. Nah, auto is still auto, man. It is what it is, but
Alright, I was trying to give some love. I mean, that's alright. If you want to poo-poo it, that's fine.
nah, it is what it is. I mean, you know, it looks good when the RNG breaks your way, and then you're like, haha, let me show you this highly reproducible thing the very next time. And then it eats shit.
Right, I'm a genius gambler when I get lucky on the roulette wheel. Yeah, totally understand.
Alright, Swuggle Player says, catch you later, going for sleep, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, man. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Havoria says, I appreciate that TW Omis are different than GAC. I like the attempt to make the PvP game modes notably different, but TW needs more help to be playable. It does need more help. You'll get no disagreement here, man. I want more out of Grand Arena, but if I had to say one needed it more, TW is it. Aussie Mike said, do I think the new game mode that's been hinted is to replace TW? I don't think we've heard anything specific enough to draw that conclusion. I don't know. If you ended up saying that they want to replace TW and Grand Arena with two new successor systems, whatever, I'm fine, you know, as long as they're good, not worse than what we've had. Welcome. Happy to have it.
I feel like longtime players would love something new if it's new and competitive. But excessively competitive, right? I'm not clearly slanted to the 1%, but I feel like most players would love something new and different if it was equitably competitive.
Yeah, I think that
Well, what do you mean by equitably competitive? Because you have
So
such a wide range.
I mean levels. So I mean levels where there's some sort of like level matching, skill matching. Like you're not going to show up against someone who's clearly got a 4 million GP and advantage over you and mod advantage, or you have no chance of winning, right? It's something where you're just matched with people that you can compete with.
That's just matchmaking, just more refined matchmaking generally.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, for a non-player with
it would really be cool that if they made a successor TW system. Like, I think one of the things that keeps a lot of otherwise competitive guilds from being able to find a foothold in the gauntlet is because of sandbag and that practice. And TG has long since come out and said, yeah, this is a tactic, like this is a thing. This doesn't bother us. We're not going to change it. And people still complain to this day about it, which is bizarre to me because, if the developers aren't sweating it and they know, you've told them, okay, well, then you should expect it. But it's nevertheless lame. And if they made a new system where that wasn't possible, I think that would add a lot more guilds into the top-end player pool because they're still going to want to get their rewards. They're not going to want to take reduced rewards for going in undersized if they're not for sure always 100% of the time gonna win because they can't get a sandbag advantage. Yeah, it would be cool. I don't, we can sit here and speculate all night about what this might be, guys. We haven't had any enough specific information to draw a real conclusion. That's the serious answer. But we all have our hopes. None of them are wrong. Yeah, there's a fairly well-known bug about being able to assist versus Ezra Dusk. That's fair.
To the task. I understand that some form of the game changers beta tester programs back up and alive. Are you in any way connected with that, or no?
Not at this time. For this thing that they're doing, this new system that they're looking to introduce is called Relic Delta, and it is something where, yes, you've heard right. For the first time in years, they're actually willing to work with content creators, and I assume it's because they see enough incentive in landing this just right, because it is a reasonably controversial change. And yeah, there's a whole host of players that have been selected. Unfortunately, I am not one of them. So maybe for a future round, maybe for a different feature, but for whatever reason, I did not make the cut.
Well, I know Ranger has, and I'm very well connected with Ranger. I know he's very well connected with the devs, so I will forward my plug.
I mean, Ranger knows me, and I mean, Meathead knows me, and I don't think I'm an unknown quantity, but like, whatever, you feel free to do whatever you like, but it's like, I feel like if they wanted to have me in, they know where to find me, and that's cool. If they want to look...
I feel like they need to be, browbeat, because I don't think they think. Right?
I appreciate the thought. I do.
Would you expect them to be like logical about shit? But I don't think they are.
I really do think. I mean, you got to think about this, Pills. The player base, by far and large, has given them nothing but grief about every time that CG has worked with the player base, worked with content creators. It's ended up biting them in the ass. So they're taking a risk.
Oh yeah.
They're taking a risk.
They 100% got Mick Mole burned. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want this to work out, and they wanted to have a certain number of players to work with on this. And my view is this is maybe not my opportunity. There may be another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Not everything good is meant for me.
No, I mean, obviously day 1, day 2, right? There's the right people and there's the safe people. Right now, they're in the safe space. Is it the right mix? Maybe not.
I think that they've got a pretty reasonable cross section of the player base. Don't get me wrong, man. If they ended up coming out with like a second round of testers and they asked me, I'd be delighted. It's not that I'd say, oh, if you didn't invite me the first round, don't invite me at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, I acknowledge I wasn't invited in this first round. I don't know what criteria they used to select. If they did offer a second round, of course, I'd be happy to participate. But
listen, I appreciate how conciliatory you're being, but when we're talking about evaluating a game and grinding mods, datacrons, understanding the nuance of the game, if they're not plucking from the sharpest minds, then you have to ask yourself, what are we really doing here? What feedback are we really asking for? And again, I don't play the game anymore. It's been a long time since I played. So this is just an objective consultant on the outside by trade who is thinking, if I was advising these people, I'm saying, your cohort of advisors is wrong, because I want to know from the deep analytics of this game, the people that dig into the nuance of the All right, so if I roll this Bitcoin 3 times, it's great. 4 times, it sucks. If I do this, those are the people I want to hear from, because that's what gets the game better, not the me strong good, you weak bad type of set. I'm not saying that's like, but like, I mean, there's so many people that are doing so many things analytically to this game that this company could advantage from, that they're not tapping into.
Well,
It's
you know,
advantage loss.
I mean,
It's advantage loss, right? It's like house money. You're just like just throwing in the
yeah,
toilet.
I appreciate it. I mean, I'd be happy when the opportunity should present itself to offer my 2 cents. But really, it's not being that conciliatory. Like, I would maybe feel a little more like, ah, man, I don't feel like I'm getting any representation if they didn't actually have high-end accounts that had some opportunity to play around with all the tools under these special conditions. Like, they've got Fatal, they've got Scribe, they've got Ranger, they've got people with reasonably large accounts up there. You know,
All
like,
right, so you named one. You named one that I would put on a technical level equal to yours.
yeah. Well, I mean, the point is that the high end, I feel, is represented, and it's not a travesty.
I'm suggesting it's not. So you and I have very different definitions of the high end. And listen, and you're being overly humble, and I appreciate that. But so let's just agree to.
Okay, yeah. I'm not trying to make it a pain point. I'm just
I'm
saying, like, I'm really not trying to be overly anything. I do feel that there are enough really decent players there where I feel like this feature will get a fair shake in its testing. And I see a couple comments here in the chat. Then Altavi says, if CG is really listening and they want to do something the community asked for, they will give us some sort of practice mode. Maybe. I mean, I think it was a dev response under CG Carey's regime where they responded.
Sandbox was a comment forever. Like, people wanted a sandbox forever. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, and I remember, I think it was under CG Carey's tenure where they came out and said, like, this isn't going to happen because there's no way to tie it to some type of monetization. Like, there's no reason to tie dev hours to something that doesn't have some sort of revenue stream involved. Like, you know, and it's tough to argue against that position. But, I don't know. Yeah, Dusk, Dagger was saying that. I mean, I'm sure many people said it many times, but he said that here last stream. You'd love to have the ability to have a private match with friends. Yeah, being able to 1v1 one of your friends, I think, would not be an unreasonable amount of work to add. I'd like to think so. It feels like it's an add-on to Grand Arena from a programming point of view. Not a Grand Arena, but Squad Arena, rather. Add-on to Squad Arena.
And there's a blueprint for that in gaming, right? Every first-person shooter has that, right? You can do custom gaming, whatever. So there's a roadmap coding-wise. So any argument that CG would make, like, oh well, coding, yeah, no, that's park that crap sometime.
So Tico says, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near this testing personally. I'd like to hear your take on that, Tico. Why do you say that? Booker Gameplay says, I agree with whoever is talking on the other end. That's Pills here in the chat. He's saying, but CG should have considered you first testing as well. You mostly stay at the top rank in their most important game mode. I don't know that this is their most important game mode. I think that CG, I think you would agree, CG would probably define their most important game mode about what has the best revenue, right, per mode. And I don't think that that's it. I don't think that Grand Arena is it. Otherwise, I think you're probably right. Like, the incentives would have lined up for them to have made some adjustments in Grand Arena some time ago. But yeah, you go on to say, if you were at rank 1 most of the time and were not a streamer, it makes sense for them to not ask you for testing. But you do have a YouTube and Twitch channel where you stream their game. Yeah, I don't know. I am known to Meathead. I feel like I am known, at least vis-a-vis Meathead, to CG. There wasn't an application for this, and if there was, I would have applied. But no, yeah, I wasn't selected at this time, and you know, if there's a second round and I can participate, I will. But yeah, I don't know. There's only so many people they invited, so I assume they want to keep it to a certain limited size. They had criteria, they made their call, and your boy didn't make the cut. You know, riot. Get on the CG forums. If you're really about it, you really feel that that you have been aggrieved by me not being selected. Put your money where your mouth is. Go yell at him. Go yell at him. Go tell him, like, you've ruined my life. I've canceled vacations. I'm changing the course of the rest of the year because this is destroying me. Not seeing Tassenix testing the Relic Delta feature. Yeah. I'm down. Justice for Tax. That's right, Aussie. By pitchforks and torches. Let my army go forward. Go forth, brothers and sisters. Make right what was wrong. It's for president. That's right. Pass for God, Emperor. Let's have it. Let's see what we got going on the light zone real quick. Profundity is super fun now with that new ship.
So, super happy I derailed the conversation to this rabbit hole, but that's fine. Cool. Good for me. Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm saying super happy I rabbit holed our conversation into this, combo, but it's worth it for me.
Oh yeah, man. No, it's a good chat.
Hey, so I mean, again, not playing the game, don't know what characters and ships are in. Have they brought the oh my god, what was Dylan Skarsgård's character? Why am I blanking?
Luthen?
Luthen. They brought his ship in.
It's on the docket actually. They've alluded to it. It's soon TM.
Oh, that ship could be OP. Based on the show, that ship could be OP.
I agree.
With offensive and defensive capabilities. Oh my days. And I don't think. I mean, you're the ship guy, right? From my experience.
You remember me as a ship guy. I think a lot of people watching the stream don't know me from those days because the fleet meta has gotten stale.
Yeah, no, my TW days were go to the Bush channel with task to your ship flights. I don't think there's a ship that has a solid offensive and defensive.
Speaking of a stale ship meta, how much do they have any plans to bring a pirate capital ship?
I think that there's a lot of speculation that we're due one at the end of the year. When the original artwork for the pirate era dropped, I want to say people were saying there was a ship pictured somewhere in the background. That is exactly the type of foreshadowing that CG has used before, so could be done.
You remember when Mando blew up that pirate ship? I wonder if that's the ship they might be looking at.
Could be. The
one with that pirate boss.
Yeah, Gorian Shard's ship. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be surprised if it was that. I would expect it to be a different thing, because I don't see why they wouldn't end up adding Gorian Shard at some point.
So do you think Hondo's going to captain GL Hondo will get his capital?
Yeah, I do think so. Or maybe OG Hondo, because I don't think we have any GLs as fleet commanders, and maybe they want to keep that motif. So maybe OG Hondo? Fleet Captain?
It's like a good time to me.
Let me catch up with a couple of comments here. What's my worst Relic 9 character? Used only in platoons or for the lulz? Geez. I don't know. My worst Relic 9. Holy shit, are you fucking serious, game? Give me back. Worst Relic 9. So we'll have to start from the bottom of where the Relic 9s are. Well, I guess if you're asking me right now for present value in game, Royal Guard is useless as tits on a board to me. So, not getting a lot of value out of that one these days, I'll tell you that. But as far as Relic 9s that I placed and then almost immediately felt bad about in terms of value, I feel like that's more toward the spirit of your question.
So Royal Guard's no longer good in the
It's because they released a set of dark side clones that are meant to be with Lord Vader, really emulating that, like the moment that they march on the Jedi Temple. So they've fully replaced what you know to be the Lord Vader team. Maul is kind of just separated from Lord Vader. You can do whatever you want with him now. There's a couple different good options where he might be a fit. Even his own lead is potentially usable. So... Yeah, Lord Vader doesn't need Royal Guard anymore, so he's kind of crap. But yeah, as far as people who disappointed me almost straight out of the gate, gotta keep.
You know who I loved and tanked up before I left? For a Java team, I loved a tanked up Gamma.
Oh, you like Gam? Piggy?
Oh, my Piggy was so thick, it was stupid. It was full defense sets with full defense secondaries. It was the weirdest mod set you've ever seen. Because anyone at the top end would look at the mod set and go, why would you have these mods? Because they're not top end mod sets, but they were like defense plus defense plus defense plus defense.
Yeah, fair.
Wow, you must go way back because I haven't seen Piggy since I started at all.
No.
The only time he was relevant was for the raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left. I left probably short after, I don't know, maybe a couple of months after Java came out. So
Yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah, it's been probably 2-3 years. Yeah. So.
I'd say almost any of the other Relic 9s I've placed, I probably don't regret. I've done them pretty meticulously, very judiciously over the years, and even the ones that have very minor advantages for being Relic 9, I really can't say I regret them. But I guess something where the game itself has made it obsolete, yeah, Royal Guard's probably the single worst. Good question.
Yeah.
Right. Vin Altabi says, but there would be no need to monetize a practice mode if you can't test stuff before it comes out. As does say, a simple mode where you could, for example, do a GAC match against a friend whenever. I mean, you're preaching to the choir. We all want it. We're all on the same side of the issue here, guys. We'd all love a practice mode or I just join a lobby and I can fight an AI for a 5 versus 5 or a 3 versus 3 simulated match. Or instead of an AI, I could invite a friend. We would all love such a mode. That makes sense. But CG's been pretty clear with us a few years ago, saying it's like they can't attach the development and the creation of such a feature to monetizing it. And therefore they won't. And because they're trying to make new content that you want to spend money on. And test modes aren't necessarily a one-to-one. You could make some kind of oblique argument saying it's like, well, if I test what I find and I find that I don't have what I need, then I might go and buy what I need. And it's like, this is a bit of a stretch, bro. I mean, you could also test just for the hell of it and just meme around all day. And that's fine. Like, again, I want it. But we're playing devil's advocate for CG in the room. They were answering to EA CG was answering to EA, which was answering to EA shareholders, you know? Now, CG is answering to a Saudi private equity firm. And if you know anything about private equity, they got a 5-year plan that's going to involve a certain amount of profitability being made out of this business, or they start selling it for parts, because that's what private equity does.
Yeah.
So
Tass, as someone who has both worked for private equity and worked for a company bought by private equity, I co-sign everything you say. They are going to be profitable and squeezed for the next 2 years, and then literally sold off like body parts on the black market.
Yep. Yeah, more so, that's the thing, if you really ask me, guys, I know we spent a lot of time the last stream talking about Relic Delta, the potential impacts on the game, what it could mean for the future of the game, people quitting, people, not wanting to engage. I think the most dangerous thing for the long-term future is the potential, standard private equity playbook being applied to this game.
Mm-hmm.
Means that you're looking at it not being around probably more than another 5 years. Which, for a game that's already 10 years old, sure, you could say it's more than had its fair share. But again, I mean, it's a Star Wars IP game, live service game. If they want to, they could keep the lights on this thing forever. So, I hope they don't mismanage it. I really do.
So the PE ROI playbook is 18 to 36 months. So do with that knowledge what you will.
Yeah.
Now listen, if the game is like printing money for them, they're gonna ride it. The moment it stops, it is auction city.
Believe it. All right. So Tico says, so the whole Relic Delta feels like it's a Leviathan. It's a huge problem, a glaring issue to them. And they're making some serious band-aid changes to make this make sense. This game's economy is worse than the US's. Oh, I don't think that's... I think this game's economy has become incredibly generous over the last several years. I'd have to hear some pretty specific examples from you to entertain that, because that is definitely not in line with a lot of the changes. Like, again, I don't mind that the changes in the last few years have not been largely in favor of spenders, because of course you don't want it to be only whales just fighting only whales with like, oh, there's probably 200 of us playing the game. No, of course not. You want people, new players, to join the game. You want it to feel like there's a path for them to advance at a reasonable pace into the middle part of the game, into the late, and be able to participate, if not necessarily come as fully equipped as somebody who's spending money. They've really made a lot of those changes. They've made those changes addressing the bottom and the middle. And I do understand from that recent dev post where they're looking towards the long-term future of shepherding players towards the high end of the game, and when they create Relic 10, creating new incentive to spend, because that is the long-term future of this game, guys. If it isn't going to generate reasonable revenue, it's going to be gone or sooner than any of us would like, free-to-play or otherwise. Anyway, let's see here. You say this game's economy is worse than the US's. Both neglect the middle class. The majority of the people who prop the game up anyways. It's exhausting to have to keep up with the lame teams too, I'll be honest. The creative direction is worrying. And all those Band-Aid changes they're making are not even represented in the testing program. How can playtesters give a true and honest take? Well, how do you mean? I know that they're adjusting those numbers, and they'll continue to adjust it. I mean, I expect there will be several more iterations, Ray Rock says, plus if they add that kind of game mode, they might break their spaghetti codes and break the game more often. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know how much it would work it would really be on a programming end to modify the existing squad arena to have the features that we're talking about for a test mode. You know? I don't know. Bugger Gameplay says, gotta go, Task. Catch you in the next stream. Thanks for tuning in, man. Have a good one. Oh, okay, Vin Tabi, make us pay for the test mode then. Let it cost 50 to 100 crystals per fight or something like that. I think that there's something there, yeah. I don't know if that sounds like it's still something that a lot of people could engage with free to play, which again, we're all on the same side of the issue here. I'm okay with it being completely free, but CG has said, you know, like, if they can't tie this to money, why bother? You spending 50 crystals on it, let's say that you want to do 4 fights, you spent 200 crystals, maybe you decide that you don't need to do a certain farm or something a certain day. Net amount of spend into the game, $0. CG sad. Yeah. Spenders are going to spend anyways. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They're not the ones who are standing to really lose from Relic Delta. That is the complaint du jour, is Relic Delta, and I can appreciate the concerns, but yeah, I expect I'll probably not be affected either way. Aussie Mike says, this game will last long enough for all of us to cross over to Arnold's game. Satire, obviously. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's early days for him. I don't want to poo-poo anything. I wish him well. I actually reached out to him, sent him a DM, and said, you know, hey, good luck on this new endeavor. Yeah, it's a big risk. Founding a game studio, so let's see what he can do. I mean, you know, it'll be however good a product it's going to be, regardless of what I think.
Mean, there have been bigger streamers, gamers who tried and failed, so God bless them.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to say everything he's done for his brand, for his business the last several years has been fairly well considered. And I want to wish him well. I want to think he'll do well. All right. Let's get back into some TV. I think we finally caught up with the questions. That zone's done. Neutral zone. Yeah, that's a long fight, isn't it? Pardon me.
There's no yawning on stream.
Sorry?
Honestly, there's no yawning on stream.
Yeah, I know. It's starting to get late. It's after midnight here now.
I know. You know, same. I feel the same. I feel the same pain, man. I'm 1 month away from turning 48, so I feel the same pain.
Oh man, yeah. I hear you.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, you're a few years down the road for me, but you couldn't laugh at me joining the ranks of the elderly. I turn 40 next year, so.
Oh God, yeah, God bless.
Yeah. It's go time, straight to the grave.
100%.
Tommy in the chat says, I was hyped until I saw it with VR. I hope he succeeds. I really haven't looked deep into the game. I saw he's releasing the first few characters I saw from his Discord announcements. You know, I'll probably at least read about it once there's a fuller product to read about. That's kind of my initial take, so we'll see. He says, what's your 3 versus 3 Pirate King team? Yeah, we talked about this earlier here tonight. I think that, you know, Hondo, and I think most of us here would agree, Hondo's kind of a shooter. Hondo makes a lot of sense. So take Pirate King Hondo and OG Hondo, and then depending on your appetite for risk, you can, of course, take Vayne as your tank, which would be fine. But if you want to really lean into the revival mechanic, not only from Pirate King's Ultimate, but also from Silvo's Unique, you might set Hondo Hondo Silvo. So Hondo Hondo Silvo or Hondo Hondo Bane seem like early top contenders. Yes. Wolfman says, I heard Fatal's modding on how he's approaching the new Pirates faction. How are you approaching the modding for Pirates after testing? I can absolutely see the case for going high defense. I'm actually deep into farming defense because I want to really expand my base in that set type. It'll be a while before I could probably put the entire Hondo team into full defense mods. Everything that I have them in right now is completely serviceable, like speed and tenacity. But
yeah, because no one's ever farmed defense mods. Like no one's thought to do that.
To be fair, since you quit the game, there's really been a resurgence in the significance of defense mods because, especially,
No, I saw it coming. I saw it coming when I quit. But the full on defense plus defense set mod was always never there. It was I mean, until Datacrons came out that accentuated that, there had to be maybe a defense set with some speed second. The speed always has been and will be forever king. There are unique factions and sets where slow defense is truly the thing. So it's fun to see that. I mean, as an off-meta person, I would have loved to have seen that. But yeah, I can't imagine there are a lot of top-end creators who have full defense mod sets.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Fatal's definitely one of the foremost evangelists of the defense sets.
Yeah, because he's different. He's the alternative set to everything mainstream, and that's what we like about his approach.
Sure, absolutely. And you know, the defense sets just seem to stand up against some of the counters that involve overwhelming and bullying down Hondo's sides and then quickly closing him out because you've got the damage to do it or he doesn't have the defense to resist it. And yeah, it's such a long fight. I hate this fight.
Speaking of defense,
sorry?
I was saying, speaking of defense, there's just a lot of defense naturally on this team.
Yeah. This is an okay time. Okay, let me catch up with a couple things here. First of all, Lady Geek says, I remember turning 48. Ray Rock says, you're a young man, Task, compared to me and Lady Geek. Yeah, I mean, you know, I appreciate everybody tuning in. It is a comfort and a pleasure to know that there are Star Wars fans older than me that are deep into this game and appreciate it. So thank you guys. It's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really worried about turning 40. You know, I'm one of those people that really didn't have a lot of vision for my life after I turned 25. So everything after 25 has been a very pleasant, wild ride. So turning 40 is like, wow, yeah, we're still in bonus overtime here. All right, so Tico says, these changes are solely relic-based, which is massive on the game because the game is solely focused on relics now, with requirements, raids, and I just feel like this strips creativity back a little bit. Economy-wise, signal data is ridiculous to require, and now with Relic 10, I really hope I have something to do with my 10,000 spare Kairos. And for the middle-early game, Zetas are tough too. I just feel like there's a big ask to raise all these relic levels to use teams. I get the verticality, though. So, I mean, it all depends on how they finally execute this, but based on their post the other day, it seems that their design intent is to help you with additional resources. Whatever you're used to doing with the Relic 5 that you have right now, fighting into Relic 8s and Relic 9s for those few matches where that's really happening, if in the end they mean for you to effectively have the same experience, but raising those level 5 Relic 5 characters to Relic 7, and they help you out with those materials, then the net effect is you're kind of getting a glide path push into the end game more, which I think is a net benefit to the player. But, this is, you could easily say, oh, sure, Task, but that's a very favorable view about, just a written dev post. It's like, that's why I say, I'm reserving final judgment until we see the end product. I want something that feels... I see where they're going in the sense that I don't need protection as a whale. I don't feel like I need my investment protected. What I feel like is, if you're telling me that a lot of people are able to compete with very large accounts at much lower relics, then they don't have the incentive to invest the relics, which means that nobody's going to bother investing relics, which means CG's getting no revenue for people pursuing into the end game, which is where they intend to make their money, which means the game dies. You see? We talked about this the other night. Like, I don't want the game to die. I don't really expect any of this to actually benefit me at the end of the day. The benefit to me would be keeping the lights up, keeping the game up. Appreciate that gifted sub, Lepana. Really do. Thank you kindly. Alright, Vin says, speaking of Relic Delta, I have almost every character at Relic 7, only 2 at Relic 5, about 110 or so at Relic 8, and 72 at Relic 9. What would you do going forward? Waiting until Relic 10 comes out and hoard everything? I think they said that Relic 10 will require new material, and then there's also going to be salvaging involved. My guess would be that salvaging will be something like you're salvaging droid brains, salvaging Gerdas. Like, it'll be expensive to salvage, but still doable.
So Task, again, I don't play the game, so I don't know. So what type of character is Relic 10 benefiting, right? Because when we saw them...
Great question, but let me stop you right there. They haven't announced how that works yet. They only said that Relic 10... They haven't put any types of dates to this yet about when Relic 10 is coming, but the post that we had earlier this week basically confirmed that the long-term vision of this game includes Relic Delta, and as an implication of Relic Delta, the next vertical progression level, Relic 10.
Sure. All right, because we saw, obviously, the introduction of Relic 9 heavily benefited tanks and defensive characters, right? So I was just curious if they had announced what Relic 10, like, is that an attacker thing?
Great question. Great question, but not presently known. Not presently known.
Well, something we shall track.
Yeah, but back to Vin's question.
Because that's going to influence what you do with your roster.
Yeah. Vin, I would say like this, Vin. Like at Relic, like where I'm at in the game, I'm able to fully participate in the higher tiers of all the Relic battles whenever they're coming around. So the tap is pretty reasonably open for me for Relic 9. And if I end up having some glut of materials, like when I'm placing Relic 9s right now, like I finished the pirates, all the pirates. I have one in the tank for Maz. I also got done both the pilots for Rogue One. I took care of Bo-Katan Kryze. Like, I'm telling you, I've got Relic 9s coming out of my ears, right? So I might break them down for materials for Relic 10, but as far as if I'm placing Relic 9s right now, I'd place the ones that you need for like raid or anything like that. If you have noticed some GAC history where you're seeing characters dying and you're suspicious that if, my Galactic Legend is Relic 8 or my tank on this team is Relic 8, I wonder if Relic 9 might be that difference that would have them live just that much longer and I could have won. Those are the kinds of questions you ask yourself about whether or not to apply Relic 9. And outside of a need like that, you might be wise to wait. Because maybe more than that next Relic 9 that you want to take those materials and break them down and make your way to the first Relic 10. The ultimate answer to that will depend on what Relic 10 gives you, which, as Pills and I were just discussing, they haven't shared with us quite yet. So, coming soon.
Paul, on question, right? I mean, you know the game the way you know. If you could respond to a poll on what do you want Relic 10 to bring to the game, what would Tassenix answer be? Would it be a healer buff, offense buff, something different? If you could give them some advice on what the universally best benefit, because there's going to be a bunch of, I'm sure, sub benefits, but if Relic 10 could do X, what would X be?
Well, first of all, like, I think I know, like, the spirit of your question is what kind of feature do I want to see Relic 10 actually materialize as?
Yes,
and I think think your meaning is it more than just mere stats? Is it something else rolled into it? And my first take is whatever you're thinking about that is kind of cool, but that's honestly what I'm thinking that CG would have envisioned for the next level of progression after Relics. Just like how Gear cut off at 13 and then we have Relics, my guess is that Relics end at 10. I have a guess. There's no reason I think that. I have no inside track on anything. It's just my guess is that Relic 10 is the end of the Relic system, and then there will be yet another higher vertical progression where there might be new features instituted, like, you remember when Relics were new, they were talking about, like, having abilities granted by Relics.
Relic abilities, right.
And having stuff enhanced. Maybe that is something like that, but quite honestly, that seems kind of like a Band-Aid, or it seems like something, it seems beneath them, because they've done a good job rolling things out over the years. And my expectation for what the next vertical progression level should feel, I don't know, a little bit more than just a Relic ability. If it ends up being just a Relic ability and it doesn't break the game, combined with Relics and Datacrons and all that, I guess I could settle for it.
Okay, but that's fair, right? But, I mean, Relic 10 was something that was whispered about and worried about and whatever back when I was still playing. So, okay, it's going to come. What would you love to see it do? If you could give them your opinion on what it did, is it boost attackers, boost healers, do something different? Like what
I want? Well, first of all, like, my realistic view of what I want from Relic 10 is
realistic. If you could just say, listen, hey, this is what I want. Whether you think they do it or not.
I want something to make attackers punchier. I want punchier attackers. Like, just how 9 was favored for tanks, I don't think that there's a really impactful benefit from Relics to do something to steroid supports. So if somebody who's
damage, something like that, right?
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, that's already determined on a per character basis, right? Like, some characters, their Relic, as you increase it, increases their crit damage, and some characters it doesn't. It doesn't matter how many Relic levels you take.
Just by taking 9th Sister to Relic 9 benefited that versus, taking, like, you've got, like, Young Han, right? Young Han to Relic 9 is different than 9th Sister to 9, right? But if Relic 10 was a huge offensive buff or a quick damage buff or something like Young Han, it's actually a way different Relic 10. They're like, so I think that's what you're kind of talking about, right? Or don't like the word name.
Well, again, it's still sometimes a little hard to hear you, but I think that, I think that Relic 10, I want it to give a big boost to attackers because I expect that defense is going to catch on in the top end. And so now we have to extend that cat and mouse game, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to increase defense, something has to kill defense, right?
Exactly so.
Otherwise, you're just grinding the game to a halt. No, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So in the comments, right? I mean, potentially in offense buff, a Relic 10 Ray could really swing things back to a Ray
Yeah.
meta. Potentially, right?
Yep.
Whirlwinds, her ult, like, I mean, good lord. I mean, you remember the early days of like the Ray meta, like you just couldn't stop that thing.
It's true. True. All
That could
right.
be fun.
Then anyway, Vin. Sorry. The bottom line is, I think that outside of what you see as your immediate needs, you probably have some incentive to hoard. So hopefully that covers you. Yeah, you only need to worry when you turn 45. Yeah, I know. Yeah, looking forward to all that, buddy. Lepana says, paying for that gifted sub that I got from Darth Link. Really appreciate that, Lepana. Tass, thanks for your reasoned and very sensible views. Enjoy your Friday night. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Have a good one. All right, so Tico says, so yeah, given what he shared above, that's a reason why I wouldn't want to be in this playtest, because those changes that he mentioned are not in the testing. So yeah, you can't really feel out the full scope of the impacts of it. I can see that. I'd still rather be a part of it than not. Just like, I know you're a content creator yourself, so Tico, and I see why. Considering that the parts that are not getting tested by this are things that you're interested in, why you wouldn't want to participate. But like, for the game we all care about, I think as many hands as they're willing to involve, we should be so happy as to take the opportunity. They've been nothing but clear that they want to get this right, and they're going to do some iterations to get there. And I think we can do it. I think we can suffer along. Because again, like we were saying the other night, previous features, previous things they've done, it's just an announcement comes out one day. It's like, new thing coming. New thing comes on this date. Game gets patched on that date. New thing is in game. Thank you for your, thank you for attending our TED Talk. That's it. That's the whole fucking thing. So,
Yes,
yeah.
here's the pack to make it work.
Yeah. All right. Shitstorm says, "What's up, Tassenix? What's up? Good to have you. Good evening to you." All right. Lady Geek says, "With both Newt and Trench at Gear 12, should I relic them for the Focus Datacron?" So in 3 vs 3, it's going to be like Trench, Django, Watt is my guess. That's the classic team. Trench, Django, Dooku. You could also... No, Trench, Dooku, Watt. That's what it is. Trench, Dooku, Watt is the classic 3 vs 3 team. And that's a bad bitch. Probably
Ooh.
still dies to Wampukron, if I'm being honest. So for 3 vs 3, I don't know. 5 vs 5? I also don't know, because of the existence of Wampukron. Wouldn't you hate if you put all this effort into the whole team for 5 vs 5 and I still threw in Wampa with Wampukron and shit stomped it? I wouldn't be happy. It's tough to say. I think once Wampukron is gone, which is a classic predator for Trench, maybe?
I don't know if they'll ever do this, but there needs to be a Jellicon that just brings back the UT bomb. Like a scav from that just literally obliterates on the thermals.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I'm a Jawa fan, so I just think that would be fun because it's so stupid. It was so broken when that
What are
came
the
out.
bonuses for the current Jawacron? Because they actually just came out with it.
Yeah, that here.
I-
Well, you know what, Davey? Since you asked, as soon as I finish this fight, I'll pull it up on screen and we'll look it over. But if you hadn't seen it already, it is spicy. It's good.
Because I remember when, like, my Jawa was literally annihilated. Like, basically, any other team that was, susceptible to like offense, like Count Dooku, Grievous, Grievous team, my God, the Grievous team just disintegrated. Now, granted, I took all my jobs to 9 because I was stupid and I played a game a different way. That was fun. I mean, I had crazy speed on Scav and everything on Route 9 and just teeny bombed that crap. That was fun.
Wolfman in the chat says, in that same breath, waiting on Relic 8 to Relic 9 to take someone to Relic 10 seems more important. JMK at Relic 8 is fine, but R10 may actually mean he needs to finally get to Relic 9. Yeah, as far as sussing out whether or not to spend your resources right now, continue to spend or to hoard, it depends on the unknown, right? We don't know yet what the actual increase is, the nature of the increase going from 9 to 10. So knowing that we don't know, maybe that puts you more in a hoarding posture. For somebody like me that's participating in all the era battles and stuff, I have enough resources going where I'm not really sweating it. I think I'm going to be okay ultimately regardless. So, yeah. Your upgrade finished before midnight. You'll get 6 hours of sleep before you have work in the morning. Yay! Glad to hear that, Lady Geek. Get your rest in for sure. Let's see here. Wolfman says, in threes, would the Hondo pick a third be better to have their level 6 Datacron be the damage reduction versus the long text? I don't know, man. I'm going to be testing only the long text at first. If I'll be keeping it near to the ground, so if somebody's making better use of the one that you mentioned, the damage reduction, I'll let you know. But my suspicion is the long text is actually the ticket. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Ray Rock. Yeah, man, it would be nice if we got separatist ships for Trench and Friends. You know, Dooku, his starfighter, that sail fighter that thing. That is a cool ship. Lame that we don't have that. It's crazy that I have Malevolence Fleet and don't have Dooku's ship because it fits right in with that theme so well.
Alright, so there's a Jawacron coming? Is that what you said?
Fuck! I was supposed to look at that. Nobody.
Yeah, there's one that they just came out with.
Yeah, there's a brand new Jawacron that's yeah. So right now, Hills, we're in the off week for Grand Arena, which means that we're in TB week, and this is also Conquest at the same time. This is the first run of Conquest where you can be farming up the latest new Datacron set 24. And I don't know if you know anything about Focus Datacrons, but basically, you know how Datacrons themselves have the 369, there's RNG getting the right 369, and then stats are a completely different crapshoot, right? Well, imagine a Datacron where every tier of ability, whether it's a cron that goes, 369, some focus Datacrons go up to level 15, so there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, like that. Imagine that all of the abilities are known and fixed at each one of those tiers, and the stats are known and fixed at every level. It's a perfectly known quantity, each one of these focus Datacrons. And yeah, they will have special effects enabled, stuff like that. But the intent behind them is, let's say that you are at a part of the game where people are playing with Datacrons, but you don't want to get involved with them because the RNG of them turn you off. Okay, well, focus Datacrons might be for you because you get absolute certainty about what you're getting. The trade-off being that taking them up to the higher levels is more expensive than taking up a regular Datacron. When I say more expensive, the sum of it is that by the time you've taken it to max level, a focus Datacron can cost up to 4 times the resources it costs to take a regular Datacron, up to 9.
So early benefit is higher, but the long-term benefit is way more expensive.
It's just a different take on Datacrons to me. Like, they are more expensive, but they're meta-defined, so you have to have them. Not all of them. Like, let's say that 4 focus Datacrons come out with a new Datacron set. Maybe 2 of them are going to be, like, must-have, but you still have to have them. All right, here. If you're seeing on screen, let me pull this up so that here, I'll pull it up live in Discord so you can see. But here,
perfect.
Here is the Jawacron.
Okay.
So on the very right hand side, you can see the summary of the stats, right?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. A fast gab could be sick with this.
That's a crazy set of stats. Forget any of this other shit that's on the screen. Just the stats are really nuts. Right?
Yeah, fast gab and a tanky tank. Ooh, mamacita.
Yeah. Now take a look at these abilities. All right. So basically, through level 5, I want to say, Datacrons and Focus Datacrons cost the same. Once you start to step from 6 on up, for Focus Datacrons, there's an added resource required, and it costs more than what a normal level 6 would cost. And then it keeps on going from there. You know, they're all fairly expensive rolls going up.
No, this is. I mean, this Datacron alone would have me 60 midnight. Just because I'm jumping.
I'm seeing people mix and match this, guys, with like Ray teams and stuff like that, just lighting up other teams on offense. Now, I know we have a Ray Crown in the Datacron set. There's some competition there. And yeah, I see Gavon's in the chat saying, I don't see any defining Datacrons in this set. They are nice, though. I kind of feel the same. There's some like strong performance Datacrons. I think that, you know, oh, cool, I've got more incentive to put Trench into the meta. We'll see how good it is. I agree. Like, it feels like, oh, this is kind of good. It doesn't, nothing feels like must-see TV, really. Except Special Forces Crown. And if you have the Pirate team, then a Pirate Crown. Either Silvo or Hondo. If you're putting Hondo in the team, it should be Hondo. But yeah.
I mean, for me, the fun thing about that Jawa Datacron is most players don't have Jawas dialed. So for me, it would be fun to add that to my team and let that play out because people would come up and go, oh yeah, no, this is a piece of whoa, what just happened? Why did I die?
No doubt.
Because they're not going up against five R9 Jawas with a 300 speed scav. Right. I mean, no one came up with because no idiot would do that other than me.
Fair.
So for me, that's fun because that's just totally flipping shit on their head.
Where's Grandmaster? They have me to play Grandmaster? They did. So, who's really doing it? They leave me Joe Lee at least? Okay, we'll deal with that then. Yeah. Not too many meta-defining ones out of the Focus Datacrons. I agree with that though, guys. Wolfman asks, are any of the Focus Datacrons beneficial for 3s, weighing in the fact that they cost so much more than regular Datacrons? I mean, I'm going into them for the long haul for use not only in this next coming season, so I'm thinking about it holistically. As far as if you want my honest take, if you don't specifically see any of the level 9s that really grab your attention, then take a look at the stats on each of them, and then think about between the current Datacrons you have from the previous set that we still have, Datacron set 23, and now this new set 24, do you feel any of your GL, like with the crons that you've got, do you feel any of your GLs, any of your top key meta teams are going without a powerful cron? And if so, is it light or dark side? And depending on that, maybe you're going for one of the Focus Datacrons that give you, at the very least, the stat stick you're looking for. Hopefully that helps. That bottle of wine's long gone. Good wine, man.
What wine was it?
Oh, just some cab my wife picked up. Nothing special, I think. Just something something on the way out, picking up a steak.
If you enjoyed it, it's special. I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean, let's see here. It's Elizabeth Spencer Cabernet Sauvignon Mendocino Vintage 2022, made with organic grapes. So from California, it's a fine. I mean,
California Middle Coast. That's cool.
Tasty wine. I enjoyed it. I love my dry reds, especially with a steak.
You know, surprisingly, I mean, I've had plenty of really nice high-end wines, but you know what I really enjoy? Surprisingly, the Cabernet box wine from Trader Joe's is totally acceptable daily drink.
Fair. I've heard stranger things.
I mean, it's you know, it's $13 for 3 liters. It's
wow.
fine. It's not gonna blow
Holy
your
shit.
socks off.
Holy
It's
shit.
not gonna blow your socks off, but it's totally acceptable.
It's taking you where you're trying to go if you're trying to go face down.
100%. It's and you don't regret like having 2 glasses of it, 3 glasses of it. You're like, oh, this is fine. Stick it on the counter. Call it a day. Call it a week. Call it a weekend. Whatever you want to do.
Yep.
For $13? I mean, no one's hating that.
It would be tough to go wrong.
It would really be tough to go wrong. I mean, we've spent $13 on stupider packs.
Let's get this Jedi Vanguard battle rolling. I'm gonna put this fight on, and I'll leave you guys in the tender care of Mole Pills and Davey here on Discord while I take a couple minutes break. But yeah, all right, we're having a lot of fun here tonight, guys. I'll be back in just a couple minutes while this one rolls. Hopefully they don't just instantly destroy me. I doubt. And yeah, back with you in a moment.
Well, I'll simulcast the fight while you're gone. So
no worries. All I'm doing is killing the camera and the mic. The stream will still be up for the people, so it's all good. You can chat with them and everything.
Some dude with a purple sword's gonna do some stuff, and you know, some other dude with a yellow sword's gonna do some other stuff. And I see a bunch of big stormtroopers missing their fights. You know, hey, go on another day in Switzerland. All right, so who's got questions for a washed-up old former whale who doesn't play this game? Anyone? Oh. What do I suggest for playing with considering his adventures?
I'm tabbed out of this Twitch stream, so you're the only one fielding
yeah,
questions.
that's fine. That's fine. So, if you had asked that question, Wolfman, 15 years ago, I would have told you Bitcoin. But you didn't know me 15 years ago, so I can't help you there. Nowadays, I don't know, man. I mean, if there are startups and companies that are heavily invested in AI content creation, yeah, I'd lean in there heavily. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking about some of the others. Yeah.
All right, we're back. I see Otto is treating us well.
To your point, Pills, yeah, Sora's looking pretty nice right now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
And if you nail the one that the media studios are going to use as their default, kind of the way if you would have picked Photoshop back then, or what's one of the render engines that they use now that they have standard.
Yeah.
I mean, just got to do some research.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, just run the gauntlet. Like, I mean, so it's weird to say
Oh,
say
fuck.
this because I'm not shilling for this, but like there's like this you see these like ads for 30-day learn AI with blah 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 like whatever for courses courses. You know what? Do it. Do one of those and learn all of these AI technologies because they're all so different. And then figure out, and then use your own personal interest to figure out, oh, this thing could be beneficial here, and then that's the space you get into.
Yep.
I mean I mean that mentality is how I got into Bitcoin in 2011.
Good shit. Hey, Lady Geek says, good night, everybody. Have a good night. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, this is a completely screwed run. I'm just letting it go on auto because immediately my Padawan Obi-Wan was deleted. So, like, you know what? You guys can just do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, let it happen.
I'm not regretting the Relic 9 can because he is actually kind of juicing Queen and Shakti. No fun. We almost have a kill. Hey there, yeah. We might get something done here. I don't know. Untocrates says, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? It is a Friday night. I have finished the bottle of wine. We're just chilling here, knocking out TV, answering questions, chit-chatting. Guess we're gonna get it done. Again. I wonder if I brought Xeris instead of Shock. The Xeris Unique would have saved Padawan Obi-Wan. World may never know.
So, funny you said that. You said Xeris. My brain immediately went to Xerath. I was like, why the hell is he talking about Xerath?
Yeah. No, Xeris this time.
Yeah, oh, sorry. No, that's me. That's my mess.
That makes sense.
Like, what is Xerath? But
Alright, what's that?
I was saying, what does Xerath do to the fight? Why did my brain go to Xerath?
Yeah. Yeah, Xerath is still playing the game, depending on when I wrap
No, I
this
don't.
up. I might raid in with
No,
you.
I still pop into the chat.
Dig it, dig it.
Yeah, no, I do. I like Xerath. He's a good dude. He's a good man.
Yeah, man.
I
this
do
is clean.
occasionally force him to eat a bunch of popsicles, but that's just me being a bully. So.
Yeah, I didn't hear about Ranger dying, so I'm glad to hear he survived the other night.
Yeah, barely. Yeah. I've sent him close to his demise many times.
I believe it.
It's okay. He likes it.
He likes it whether he likes it or not.
He pretends to be a former special forces guy. So it's okay. He can, No, he is. He actually would get it, but
Didn't he owe some shots for today?
For his next stream, he had a debt. He had a tally.
His tally is longer than a CVS receipt.
That's that's a burden. That is a burden to bear.
Yeah.
Wolfman asks, what other non-Swugga games am I playing? Recently resubscribed to WoW. I made a character, Fury Warrior, and I kind of decided to have him be based off of Balin's skull, as far as like an appearance archetype. Let me show you that real quick here. So there, that's what he looks like. Yeah? You feel it? Dig it?
Okay, I can see it. No, I can see it.
Yeah, it's about as close as you can get.
Honestly, if not for the beard, I wouldn't have seen it. But it's the beard that.
Yeah, it's a little tougher to execute the full look, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, hey, well done.
Yeah. What are we
It's
doing?
funny. I found myself like thinking, what kind of mobile games do I want to play now? And I find myself rotating through those weird brain teaser strategy games, like, take the screw out of this, or like, realign this thing to that. I find myself doing those games. They're like, try to train my brain.
Fair.
Those games are so, I find so beneficial. They just make you think on a different plane that we don't normally think daily, and it's. I feel like it keeps me sharp.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, in addition to WoW, I play a lot of TFT here on League of Legends. I hit Platinum not long ago, so I'm trying to work my way out of the bottom of Platinum. I'll still occasionally, with friends, as a situation pops up, something like a Civ 6 game, or Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, or I don't know, some stuff. I even fired up StarCraft 2 the other day.
The zombie streams with Yeti are fun. Watching you and Dagger join.
I was wasted for most of those.
You guys go rogue on zombies. It's great.
Last time you went Helldivers, guys.
Yeah, Helldivers is good. I mean, I haven't played it a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, but I've got more than 1,000 hours in that game. It really is just an absolutely incredible game. I don't know. I'm really more on a TFT kick right now. Plus, I'm also waiting for them, I think, to kind of fix a couple of the kinks with the new beasties they've added for the bugs, like the flying like dragon bug. I call them Skyrim dragons. It doesn't really matter what you do once they see you and they start coming at you. Like, you can dive, you can hide, you can dive and hide. And as long as they spray that big arc of acid anywhere in the general direction, you're probably just going to get one shot. And that doesn't feel great. I gotta be honest with you.
Even with like anti-corrosive armor, if you're kitted out properly, it's still one shot.
Yeah, I was wearing a resistant armor for that purpose.
And that's lame.
I want to say it was a resistant medium, not resistant heavy. So heavy would have definitely made a difference, I'm sure of it.
It's almost as bad as you remember when the Chargers were fucking going ham. They were like too fast. We're making like 90-degree turns.
Dude, what would I tell you? You remember lurkers from StarCraft 2 or from StarCraft?
Vaguely.
The Zerg, the burrowing Zerg that sent out the spines, they pop out of the ground and shit.
Oh yeah.
Imagine Chargers that behave like lurkers in the sense that it's like, is that like a roll, like a pat? Is that like a lump in the ground that's rolling and moving towards me? What the fuck is that? And then it's a Charger. Terrifying. And then it's a Charger, and then it emerges under your feet. Yeah, Helldivers I will still play from time to time. I haven't played in the last couple of weeks. I freely admit I've been pretty absorbed in TFT and also just crushing things down. Wow, that's been feeling good. Doing 10 keys, stuff like that. 10 is reasonably high, but not super high. Like I play with people that play 12s, 13s, 14s, but I don't get down like that. Like the rewards stop being meaningful at getting a vault full of 10s, and I'm not one of those guys that needs to prove that I can do something above 10. Just give me the rewards.
I'm gonna go on mute and be right back because we gotta take a piss, and I don't think you want to hear me take a piss. So,
A reasonable assumption. Appreciate you.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Wow, did he just hit her hard with that attack? He is... God, this wrecker is insane at taking damage. Just blow her up. 842,000. You know what? I wasn't even planning on using this team this round, but... Yeah, new Bad Batch is awesome. Alright, I'm glad to hear...
Wrecker's Basic is as satisfying to watch as Dark Troopers is.
Yeah, and it's also really powerful for Basic. Saleya says... Yeah, he's talking about Ranger. Ranger did plenty of shots on his stream and with Scribe today. He pays his alcohol debt, so I know. I have no doubt. Phil has a weak stream and doesn't want to embarrass himself. Damn. I don't know. We'll see when Pills comes back. We'll see if he heard that. We'll see if he'll answer your accusations, Wolfman. All right, so light side's done. What do I have to do here? Good. I can do Rayu. They want Spectre up there. Think about it. You wanted Coca here. What if I can't do? No, it looks like it might actually. Well, only if it needs to. This is a neutral zone. Alright, well, we'll do Spectre there. Do something. It wouldn't be anything. Still. Right? Not the executor.
Hey, Wolfman, don't you worry about my stream. It's strong and clear. I'm all good.
For a minute there, we thought you were pissing on your own nuts.
No. I also had to refill my whiskey, man. And it goes in, it has to come back out, So.
You don't have the nickname of Dribble today.
No, sir. No, sir. Oh, jeez. There's a sandfly in the chat. What are we doing?
Hey, Aldous. Morning, Holotable Heroes. Good morning to you. Yeah, so no type of morning here.
Look at this guy.
It is getting late for sure. The show continues because I have not managed to finish off this wave yet. Yeah, okay. That one's going well. Got other questions, guys? It's getting pretty late, but I'm still here. I am still here.
You know, because I'm just going to fill out that air. Honest question, I'm sure you've asked and answered a million times. What's a ship that's not the game and not the roadmap that you really wish they would bring out? Capital, support, whatever. This is just a a task funsy one, like maybe personal preference, like whatever. If you had your brother,
Mando's new ship from the one.
Well, that'd be a fine choice. Good call, Davey. That's a good one.
The Nubian speeder thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the heavily modified one. Here's what it is, and I've spoken about this one before. It would be the Imperial Heavy Gunboat. Basically, that thing could lay siege to a like a space station level defensive threat by itself and win.
Okay, so who's the pilot for that ship?
No one in particular. I mean, it would be like probably a special forces Imperial pilot. I don't know, new character.
Okay, fair. No, that's fair. I didn't know if you had something in mind.
No, because where that ship comes from in my memory is playing the original TIE Fighter game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it was a very late game ship. Like, you had to be in the Order of the Emperor. You had to be one of his sworn dick kickers to be flying that bitch. And it had concussion missiles, ion cannon, shields, armor, proton torpedoes. It was ready.
So what about Padme's ship from prequel?
Yeah, her Nubian ship. Sure, that'd be dope.
Nubian, yeah.
That'd be pretty too.
That would be dope.
Well, because then you could pull in Qui-Gon, right? And others.
You can even bring in Baby Annie to go with all of the kids that they're probably going to add eventually from the pirate show.
Yeah, Ray Rock. They said the pilot of the B-Wing is Drogon. So, for all of you who've already got a Relic 9 Drogon, no additional investment required. God, the thing is so...
Has everyone given up on a Red 5?
I wouldn't say give up on anything. You are literally seeing back-to-back Rebel-era ships released. This is what I keep saying. Like, nobody's got really solid cause to Doom yet, because anything that you don't like isn't in its final form yet, and that's assuming that they don't end up patching something that doesn't end up performing well after some amount in live. The fact is, they're being really careful about these latest changes.
No, it's fair. And do you feel like if they do Red 5, is the current character out already that is the right pilot, or do you think they need a New Hope Luke? Marquis be the pilot, or do you think there's a Jedi Knight Luke that's kind of a Empire? I'm sorry, Return of the Jedi Red 5 pilot angle. I'm just curious,
I would say that you could easily make the case that the Farm Boy Luke could suffice for that ship.
Yeah, that's kind of the OG thinking, right?
But realistically, you expect them to not sell you a new unit over it, really?
No, I think it's a new, Resistance pilot Luke type of you know, in the garb, right? I mean, it's not going to be Farm Boy. I mean, canonically, it's Farm Boy, but monetarily, it's not Farm Boy.
Yeah, because they're going to put him in his flight suit from A New Hope, right?
Yeah.
That's the
It's
new
gonna
character.
look like,
Flight suit Luke.
Yeah, look like Biggs. Yeah, flight suit Luke, right. Exactly.
So, you know, I mean, I'm not naive. I know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
What I do appreciate is they're actually looking at bringing Home One back into modernity, not against the very top fleets, but at least being part of the conversation where you're fighting Malevolence, Negotiator, something like that, still on defense.
I've always been a fan of like the weird anti-character, right? So like before Jar Jar came out, I always said Jar Jar would have a mechanic where like there's a percentage chance, maybe low, that he does harm to his own team, right? I think let's bring out a rebel Porkins, and there's like a 20% chance he just blows up and does damage to your whole team. Thing. Why? Because it's dumb and stupid. And
yeah,
I just like
that's like Swugga unglued.
Yeah, but I mean that could also be fun. Like he could do high damage or like 20% chance he just disintegrates and takes 30% health from your team. But he could also do like 90% damage, like type of thing. I just like that silliness because that's just I'm just feeling it, advocate. But I mean, let's give some stupid love to the much maligned characters like Pokemon and whatever. So, is there a Star Wars ethos, right? So, movie, shows, books, character that you think should be in the game that isn't yet?
Yes, I love this question. The Young Jedi Knights. I loved that series as a kid. They were like young adult Star Wars books, and as it so happened, I was a young adult at the time, or teen.
Okay.
And it was great. It was Jason and Jason Solo, the children of Han and Leia. Their friend Tenelka. She was, I want to say, like half Dathomiri, half.
Yeah, there was some dark arts to that.
Yeah, she was like royalty of some kind, and there was a good set of books on that. It's been forever since I read them, but I remember them being great reads. I'd love to see those characters brought back. They brought more obscure shit than that already to the game, so would love to see them. Let's see.
So there are two for me.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
No brainers.
What was the guy? What was the race that Ron was preparing against?
Preparing against?
Yeah, he would. There was a faction that was going to eventually invade the galaxy, and he was like, "Look, you guys have never seen these guys. I know these guys are coming, and I need to get ready."
Is that like a precursor to the Yuzhong Bong?
That is who I'm talking about. The Yuzhong Bong.
There you go. Yeah, that would be cool to see.
That would be a fun thing to bring in. And it's so disconnected that you wouldn't be beholden to very much lore. You can really get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two characters that I've always wanted to see, and I thought they were going this way when they brought out Visas, is one, Mitra Sarek.
Yeah. Solid.
And two, on a pilot, back to our pilot conversation, Snaps Wexley.
Okay. All right.
Those are the two I thought would be great adds to the game. And I think because thinking back to the old Home One, like Rebel pilot Snaps on the not exactly Black Squadron, but periphery. There's a lot of like you could have some of that synergy with, Aldo. There's a lot you could do with that pilot and that ship, and then Mr. Cirque. The fact that
I mean,
that
if the
character
show
being,
wasn't, warmed over Ruddy Doo-Doo, I mean, I'd like to see that Wookiee Jedi and a couple of other ones that ended up
oh
being
sure.
Acolyte
I
or
mean,
something.
yeah. I mean, the Acolyte stuff. Man, they messed that up.
Yeah.
There's some great characters in there, but they messed the show up. But
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Cirque should have been in the game a long time ago.
I agree. It feels like an oversight considering
lore,
the other old
yeah,
Republic characters.
and the lore and the Revan and everything about that and the whole bit.
I forget who else had said it, if it was Dagger or other guests that we've had, but I know somebody's talked about, maybe it was TJ, who talked about the idea of like the next, like a future galactic legend being like a unified Revan, where you had to already have Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, and now you're pursuing, I think it's Revan Reborn was the idea of the concept.
Yeah, Revan Reborn. Yeah, Revan Reborn. Right.
Yeah.
You have to have. Yeah, you have to have both Revans. Yeah.
That would I'm sure great. I would love to see that too. That'd be great. Yeah. Let me catch up with a couple comments here in the chat. I don't want to get them too far buried. Have you pivoted any of your set previous Datacron teams to the new Datacrons based off of stats, such as the armor pen heavy characters? No, I haven't gone and equipped characters on the board. I don't do that. I'm not saying that's a problem or anything. I know a lot of good players will go in and set a nominal board that they want to start with in the season. I don't like that approach personally because I like scouting so much. So I look at an opponent, I more or less start with a clean board for the start of the season, and then start placing things and start moving things around. And the more empty space I have as a starting point, the more clear it is kind of how I want to move things around. And then once those are set, then I start adding more things. And because the previous things are already set where I want them, there's few spots to move them, and the board kind of falls into place on a round by round basis. So no, it won't be until I go to scout out the first round that I'll actually go and place all these crons. But I am trying to cover my bases pretty widely. I'm trying to have something like 10 of the new set, in addition to the focus Datacrons going into week 1. Gavon says Drogon has more character development than some actual movie characters that are in game. That's fair. Rayrock says, not to be politically incorrect, but Drogon is not physically able to fly. The complexity of the B-Wing. CG has made it so. Him and his flexible, noodly appendage arm are capable of more or less assuming the form of a tentacle, which apparently has the grasping strength required to work the controls of the B-Wing. So, checkmate. You're wrong. DG said you're wrong. You're wrong. You're done. Cooked. Guys, we finished the TV. It is 1:20 p.m., so let's say here we'll wind down the stream within the next 10 minutes, close it out at an even 1:30. Let's get your last few questions in, and while we do that, back over to you, Pills.
I was going to say, so fun fact. Little known fact about me, I collect and build Star Wars Lego ships as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, 30 plus ships built. My third ship I built was the B-Wing. My first ship was the X-Wing, the Luke X-Wing. Second was the Tantive 5, and then my third was the B-Wing. But I have 2 shelves full of Lego Star Wars ships.
I'd love to build a bunch of Lego Star Wars ships. I think I might get to it one of these years.
Yeah, no, it is my Zen moment, peace of mind. If I need a break and I just need to get away from, I just sit down and I build Lego Star Wars ships. Mm-hmm. And that's my, don't talk to me, don't, thou shalt not converse. I'm in my happy space, get away from me, and I just do that.
Mm-hmm. Wolfman asks, is Mole Pills playing any collector games at this time?
I am not.
I wouldn't
No,
be
I
playing
know.
another game like this, guys, if it wasn't Star Wars. I'll say that.
The only games I play occasionally are some of those like puzzle games, and I'll do them for literally a day, and then get to a significant level and then delete them.
Mhm.
But I don't. But I do that just for just compartmentalizing or consuming that bit of everyone's brain that just needs to consume like that 5, 10, whatever percent that we all go through. Like some people like listen to music on the side or whatever. Just to I just do that. Right. That just consumes that little percent of my brain that I can't focus on my daily tasks. That I just need to give to something else.
Fair. Fair. All right, guys. I think we're mostly caught up on questions. So, first, some thanks before we get ready to close out. Thanks to Davey and to Pills here for joining me here on Discord. Having not just me talking into the silence. Appreciate you, gentlemen. And
but sometimes those of us who are of a certain age enjoy the silence.
Fair. Very fair. Trust me, Davey and I hang
As
out
a
on Discord.
Hashtag Depeche Mode, reference.
Davey knows what I'm about to say. I mean, Davey and I are the type, like, we both know the meaning of a comfortable silence. We'll both hop on Discord, say, hey, it's like, what's going on? Nothing much, just playing whatever. Just playing.
So funny you say that, right? So, so my mother was born in Helsinki, Finland. I grew up with very Finnish heritage. I'm a Finnish citizen. If you know anything about Finns, you could get 10 Finns in a room for 3 hours and no one will say a word and everyone will be super comfortable. So silence in a room is my happy space.
Yeah. And I was just about to say, like after just saying, hi, a couple quick pleasantries, we'll go on doing what we're doing. It'll be more than an hour. It's been like 4 or 6 hours before it'll be like, well, I'm going to get going. It's like, all right, bye. That's it. Like, we're just on Discord in silence all day. That's great.
It happens and it's okay.
It's not bad. All right,
Hey,
guys.
that said, Task, before we go.
Yeah. Oh, hey, whoa, holy shit. What is that? That's 20 right out the gate. Well, thank you, Pills. Oh my god. That's incredible. This is an insane run over the last couple streams from you. Thank you so much. Matter of fact.
I mean, yeah, I might have gone a little ham last time, but that's okay.
No, that was awesome. Matter of fact, you'll see. I got something in mind for you. All right, guys. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Pills, for gifting out these 20 subs. I'd say here, if you were here last stream and this stream, probably covered. So thank you again, Pills. All right, guys. You guys watching me here live already know that I'm here at twitch.tv/Tassenix. I also simulcast live from my YouTube channel, Tassenix Gaming, where if you have not been there before, check it out. A whole bunch of Slug-related content there you might be interested in. Stuff like the GAC Omicron tier list video, the How-To Mod Guide series, Datacron set guides, mod guides on characters and factions that you've asked about, and of course, it's a rebroadcasting point for my Grand Arena Focus podcast, Plotting and Scheming, that I make with my friends Dagger, TJ, Sasha, Aisha, and Fatal. We break down the week in review, for the thereabouts of the top 100 of Kyber 1. We talk about how we dealt with the meta matchups of the week, our favorite attacks and defenses that we saw, lessons learned for the week to come, and anything else that we think is worth sharing with you. So that show is native to Spotify, but wherever you catch an episode, check the description. There's a link that you can use to plug into your preferred podcast program and follow us that way. Aside from that, anything you enjoy over there on the YouTube channel, give it a like if you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe if you want to see more. Very much appreciate your support. We've just crossed over the threshold, up over 1,700 YouTube subscribers. Thank you, guys. It is a milestone. We're getting closer to 2K. I can feel it. And of course, if you want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to support the stream, there are a few ways to do so. First of all, I have a Cash App. Let's see if the link's working. So there's a link to the Cash App. I do have a PayPal. That is tassenix@gmail.com. And if you want to get some enhanced scouting power for your own Grand Arena game, early access to my content, and a couple other benefits besides, you might be interested in checking out my Patreon. Patreon.com/Tassenix. Drop the link for that here. There you go. So yeah, for any upwardly mobile Grand Arena player, there is something there of interest for you. At $5 a month, you enter the TAS House at the VIP access level, where you get early access to the Plotting and Scheming show. That's coming out on Fridays at 8 a.m. for our general audience, but patrons get it as early as Tuesday night, within hours of us recording. So you have early, insights going into that first round of the week. In addition, I will occasionally make the odd exclusive video. Patrons will have that at least a month ahead of the general audience. And of course, dedicated voice and text chat on Discord, where I will usually be lurking, so pop on in, say hi. Thank you so much to Andrew, Banja, Boba Iza, Deadpool Kyle 28, JJ's Productions, Joven4527, Miasmal, Moose Ross, Rays Malvis, Sam Vimes, Sheepdog47, Squed, Stark Strategy Gamer, Sweens14, and White Wolf. Hey, Wolfman in chat says, I honestly look for your podcast on Spotify at 6 a.m. in Arizona when I walk the dog in the morning. I appreciate that, Wolfman. I really appreciate that. The fans of the show, a lot of folks reach out and share their appreciation, and it means a lot to me, guys. Thank you. So thank you, Wolfman, for that comment. All right, moving on up to the next tier is VIP Access Plus for $10 a month, which is a bundled Patreon access to me and to your choice of either OmegaBot or Hot Utils Patreon. OmegaBot is that tool that I highlight at the start of all of my Grand Arena streams, showing my opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Anybody can use that tool for free to scout their opponent's last week of Grand Arena history, but only patrons can build out a custom report with any number of weeks. You get a downloadable HTML version of the report with links that you can click going right back into swugga.gg or Insight, whichever you use. Alternatively, you could go for the Hot Utils Patreon, aka Chili subscription, which is your #1 tool for mass mod management and loadout creation. Nothing else lets you switch so easily between your Grand Arena, TW, TB, and Raid mods. You can use it like TJ and Fatal do to comprehensively remod your roster with the powerful automation feature. You can slice through hundreds of mods in seconds, help out your guild and TW, whole bunch of good stuff in there. No wrong way to go at VIP Access Plus. Thank you so much to Aussie Mike, Darth Salea, Esh Sotnikam, JJ's Dad, Meow for Me, Mr. Tony, Shake23501, Single Malt Jedi, Snack Attack, Striker, Supermart, Trouble Fingers, and Zoltre. VIP Access Premium is $15 a month for the Double Bot Bundle. So Patreon access for me, OmegaBot, and Hot Utils all under one subscription. Just going out and buying those bots any other way is the same price as this bundle, which is why so many of my subscribers say this is one of the best values in all of Swugga. Thank you so much to Argots, Arj, Bjorn, Big Ninja, Capitus Invictus, Duckstab, Darth Link, General Milan, Ivanek, Johnny V. Ottawa, Hev, Mini GK, Hills, as seen on TV, Loon, Wig, Raleigh, Soldat, Sir Boss, Sophus, The Lost Womp Rat, Trevor Boy Gaming, and Wilco. Alright, now, here in Jester's Club Elite, the one, the only Nomad's Reaper. This madman pops in the stream from time to time and drops hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies, crushed many hype trains on his own, and has just been doing it like that for years. So thank you so much, man. Special thanks. I'm going to have to expand this section because I'll start including you as well, Pills. It's very kind of you coming on in on this hot spree of subs these last couple streams. So that should be recognized in addition. I'll get that done here in the office.
No, don't worry. It's fine.
But yeah, special thanks first goes out here to The Lost Womp Rat, one of my patrons who's gone above and beyond the Call of Duty to help me set up my stream deck and just make things easier on the back end for me to do what I love doing with you guys. Thank you, Womp. Mrs. T, thank you so much for all you do in the background, whether it's something like preparing tonight's incredible steak dinner, just prepping the mood for me to have a fun stream here tonight with you guys. Or if it's just bringing me a drink, or just keeping our daughter from tearing the place apart while I'm trying to be halfway decent at a phone game, I appreciate the hell out of you. And of course, to my co-hosts on Plotting and Scheming, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. Gentlemen, it is always a pleasure to record our show. Despite the pressures of work, family, personal demands, we all still manage to get together on a weekly basis to get the job done. I learn from you guys every episode. Occasionally, I hope the feeling is mutual, but regardless, it's not about us. It's about the community that's popped up around our show. We're helping people out. We're making an impact on the Grand Arena players, not only just at the top end, but, somewhere down in the middle, sometimes even the low end. You'd be surprised some of the comments we get. It's nice. And you guys bring so much to the conversation every episode. Really appreciate you. Wouldn't change a thing. All right, we're here at the end. It's time to make ready to roll.
So, Tass, before you go,
yeah,
I just have to say, having played with you, Dagger, Sasha Aisha, and with our good friend, the scariest heights, Mr. TJ, I haven't had the pleasure of playing with Fatal. It was a pleasure to see the minds of you guys work, and honestly, if anyone is just not understanding how dialed in these guys are to this game in different ways, you're just missing the fact that you have a breadth of such great skill in different viewpoints. And so, I mean, I don't play anymore, but when I did, I appreciated what you brought and what others brought, and it was great. I mean, it was great to see, and I respect it in hindsight. In fact, frankly, I'm just glad it's in hindsight because I don't have the time anymore because I've got things I got to do. But man, playing with you was just an honor.
I really appreciate that, man. It was a pleasure playing with you when you were still in the game, and I can't say how much I appreciate that you even tune in, having been so far removed from it. Let alone, throwing out subs and support for the stream. I really appreciate that, man. Everything.
I love it, man.
Thank you.
I respect it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there's nobody live on YouTube for me to raid into you for Swugga, so I guess the stream's just going to cut off when I send the Twitch folks out. As far as who's live on Twitch, man, it is pretty lean.
And so, by the way, that's for you.
Oh, did I miss something? Let me check the chat. Oh, Jesus, it's another 20 subs out. Well, thanks, Pills, man. You get my hat's off to you. Thank you so much, man. Really,
well, your hat's still on. Your hat's still on, technically. So.
No, not really. I took it off. I took it off. You can see what's left of my hairline if it's going to make a difference to you. But thank you so much. Ray Rock, you're not obligated to share these knowledge, but you do it anyway. Well, that's why I started streaming. It's certainly part of why I started the Plotting and Scheming podcast with the guys. It's for the love of the game, guys. I mean, it's a Star Wars fun strategy game. We're all here because we love the game. You all know why. You're not here for high production value. You can watch this same animated thing go around the same time, the same way 100,000 times, and that's all the better it's going to get here, graphics-wise. All right. So we all know why we're here, and I appreciate you all tuning in because, yeah, strategy game's awesome. All right, let's see. As far as getting ready to raid, starting the raid out to Zuli, the only English language streamer still live. So he's only got one streamer. We're about to make his evening. Let's roll on into this, gentlemen. And, of course, again, thanks to Davey and to Pills here for joining me tonight. Thank you, all of you folks out on YouTube and Twitch for tuning in. And until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. Been real awesome. Take care.
Later, guys.